The NFL Today on CBS Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines.
And welcome back to the NFL Today, where Verizon, the official wireless service provider of the NFL, takes you first on the field. The Dolphins and Bengals are about to do battle, so let's head out to Cincinnati, where Kevin Harlan and Solomon Wilcots are standing by. Gentlemen.
It's a gorgeous Halloween afternoon at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati as the Miami Dolphins play the Cincinnati Bengals. With a scary collection of receivers on display, Miami's Brandon Marshall is on a record-setting Dolphin pace. The Bengals' terrific tandem of Terrell Owens and Chad Ochocinco, all part of our backdrop here in Ohio this afternoon. A beautiful autumn day. Hi, everyone. Along with Solomon Wilcots, Kevin Harlan, thank you so much for joining us today. Here's an interesting one for you. The Dolphins are winless at home, undefeated on the road, obviously a little inconsistent, kind of like their young quarterback.
And if Chad Henne was a stock, his growth chart would show steady incremental growth. For quarterbacks, it really is about winning. And, of course, he's won half of his 19 career starts. In 5 of those games, he's thrown for over 300 yards. He's showing steady improvement, and he has a positive touchdown to interception ratio. After watching the tapes of this Bengals defense last week against Atlanta, he believes he can have an explosive game on offense today.
Spent a lot of this week watching Miami's defense, number 11 in the NFL.
And their defense is very good, very dominating, but even more dominating when they take their act on the road. They are a very stingy visitor where they're giving up fewer points on the road than they do at home. 11 of their 17 sacks have come also on the road. And how about the majority of their takeaways and turnovers? When they take to the road, they are a more unified group, and they tend to make life miserable for the home quarterback.
All right, so we have the Miami Dolphins losing 3 of their last 4. Cincinnati has lost 3 consecutive games, including last week at Atlanta against the Falcons, in a game where their quarterback Carson Palmer threw for over 400 yards.
And Carson Palmer's admitted that, yeah, it has taken a while for the offense to come together. When he has played well and put up numbers like he did last week, they tend to lose. When the number hasn't been so good, that's when they win ball games. When he throws for less than 50%, they've won both of those games. When he's thrown for less than 200 yards, they have also won. But when you throw for over 400 yards, complete over 70% of your passes as he did 1 week ago, they have tended to lose all 4 of those games when Carson Palmer had put up big numbers. He just wants to keep playing well. Hopefully, the wins will come.
Well, we just saw the flamboyant Owens and Ochocinco now together in the same uniform here in Cincinnati.
Yeah, they have a dynamic duo at the wide receiver position. High on drama, but also high on productivity. How about Chad Ochocinco, the franchise leader in terms of touchdown receptions and receiving yards? Terrell Owens, 147 touchdown receptions, ranked 3rd all time. They both have big-time numbers, but Carson Palmer needs them to play well today in order for the Bengals to win.
You know, you forget that this is the defending AFC North champion at Cincinnati Bengals, yet they're 2-4. Why the struggles this season?
I can give you 3 reasons why this team has not lived up to expectation. How about more pass plays than run plays, opposite of their winning formula 1 year ago? Then they have a lack of consistent pressure on the quarterback. Only 6 sacks in 6 games, and then they've gotten off to slow starts, scoring only 17 points in the first quarter of their 6 games so far this year. They've got to get off to a great start here today.
All right, now let's take a look at our tools to victory, brought to you by the Home Depot.
Miami have to use their duo running back of Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams to really ignite their physical style of play. And then for the rookie wide receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals, Jordan Shipley has to be a 3rd option for his quarterback Carson Palmer. That's for our keys to the game. Miami has to convert and score points once they get it inside of the red zone. Then the Cincinnati Bengals get off to a fast start and finish strong.
And for more Home Depot player stats, log on to CBSSports.com. It's Ronnie and Ricky and Brandon and the Dolphins against T.O., Chad Ochocinco, and the Bengals. We go to London next on CBS.
This is James Brown in New York. Coming up, we'll have the kickoffs of our early games and a reminder that today's games on CBS are brought to you in Sony High Definition. Right now, it's time for a special pregame ceremony from London. So let's head out to Greg Gumbel at Wembley Stadium.
Ladies and gentlemen, to perform the U.S. National Anthem, please welcome multi-Grammy Award winner and platinum recording artist, Michelle Williams.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. Flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to perform God Save the Queen, please welcome one of the greatest guitarists in history, 5-time Grammy Award winner, Jeff Beck.
Coming up, it's the NFL on CBS, and we'll take you to the opening kickoffs of our early games right after this.
Welcome back to Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati with Solomon Wilcots, Kevin Harlan, 3-3 Miami, 2-4 Cincinnati. Trick-or-treaters will have 54-degree temperatures today in this area of Ohio, right next to the Ohio River. Winds out of the northeast, as you can see, mostly sunny skies. Tony Sperano is in his third season as the Dolphin coach. A thinner, more trim Tony Sperano.
Yeah, a guy who's doing that kettlebell workout with his strength and conditioning coach. So he's fit and ready, and so is Marvin Lewis.
Marvin in his 8th season, but the 4th time in those 8 years he has started a season 2-4. We've had the flip of the coin. Cincinnati won. This means Dan Carpenter will kick off for the Miami Dolphins with those 6 touchbacks, a Pro Bowler. Carpenter had 5 field goals last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Couple guys deep back. Quan Cosby there to the left, and they've got Bernard Scott to the right. We told you about the breeze. And an important game for these two teams, respectively. There's a lot on the line, even though we're in the first portion of the season.
Yeah, Miami comes in at 3-3, Bengals 2-4. Both had high expectations coming into the season.
And Scott from the goal line. Over had a hand on him and at least knocked him astray. The gain out to the 24-yard line, a 24-yard return. There is a flag thrown. Our referee here in Cincinnati today is Terry McCauley.
During the return, holding receiving team number 56. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So here we go now with Cincinnati and their quarterback, Carson Palmer, coming off his third career 400-yard game, albeit in a losing cause.
Yeah, and he's expecting to play even better. I think the longer he's in the same system with these wide receivers, you expect him to continue to play well and improve his game.
With Fauci in the backfield, it is first down and 10 from the 14 for Cincinnati. Benson blocked by Whitworth, tackle by Crowder, who's good against the run. That's a gain of 2, and he's out to the 16-yard line. Let's set the rest of the Cincinnati offense right now. Right tackle is Andre Smith, made his first career start last week. He is a former #1 pick. And the rookie tight end, Jermaine Gresham, the best rookie receivers in the NFL, play in the tight end position. So it'll be second down and 7 to go. Shipley is the slot receiver. With the Dolphins in the nickel, this is Benson. Bouncing out. And look like Cameron Wake along with Vontae Davis make the stop after a gain of 4. We'll put him at about the 21-yard line. Now for the Miami Dolphin number 11 defense. On the line, Paul Soliai, strong against the run, as is Channing Crowder. We just saw him make the tackle. He's back from injury. Helped the Dolphins last week against that Steeler running game. Ben Roethlisberger last week threw over 300 yards against the secondary. Jason Allen will start. We're going to see a lot of Sean Smith today. It is third down and 3 as the nickel is in there. Benny Sapp for the Dolphin D. Palmer has a first down. Ocho Cinco working on Vontae Davis, picks up 6 out to the 27, move the chains for Cincinnati.
And already we're seeing good chemistry between Carson Palmer and Chad Ochocinco. Quick out, he gets man-to-man coverage against Vontae Davis, the second-year defender, and Chad wins on the play. He's got to be a consistent catcher of the ball in this game today.
First down to the 27, still the nickel. Benson got by McDaniel. It was belted by Starks on the line, and no gain on the play. They stay at the 26-yard line.
Kevin, everyone's been asking the question with the Cincinnati Bengals offense, what is your identity? Even when we talk to Marvin Lewis and Carson Palmer, they say, look, in the AFC North Division, you have to be able to run the ball, but you have to be able to do both. Last year, they couldn't throw it. They ran it very well. Now they're seeking balance, a good blend of both run and pass in this game today against the Dolphins.
Second down and 10. Smith with a good block at the right tackle. Terrell Owens hit by Allen. And on the play, Jeremiah Bell, I think, was covering him. Gain of 9, close to a first down.
Actually, Terrell Owens did have the first down. He kind of lost track of where he was after making the catch. He curls into that zone defense so well, and then he settles, but now he's trying to give ground to gain yards. We got a quick snap to try to get that first down, and I think they were able to get it. Initially, Terrell Owens came back and did not get the first down. Carson Palmer goes with a quick snap, and they're able to move the chains.
It was 3rd and inches. They do get the first down. Here he is again at no huddle. 1st and 10, going deep. He's got T.O. Was bobbling it. He was looking on Allen. It is incomplete. He had a hard time holding onto the ball. It'll be second down.
And last week in Atlanta, they had a hard time connecting because Carson felt like he overthrew T.O. on a couple of occasions. They go quick snap. They go at Jason Allen. Now watch the initial catch by T.O. See, he's got it, and then Allen's able to claw it out. And because he bobbled the ball and didn't complete it as he went out of bounds, they have to rule it a non-catch.
Second down and 10. Benson From behind, looked like Dansby got a hold of him. It was a terrific tackle around this team. No gain on the play. The Bengals love the no huddle, and they used it pretty effectively last week.
And not only are they going no huddle, they're going hurry up. I mean, they're going so fast. We're having a tough time trying to keep up. 0 points scored on their opening possessions. Ranked dead last in the National Football League. I think they're trying to catch this defense off balance as well.
Ninth play of the drive, 3rd down and 10. Operating out of the nickel, the defense of the Miami Dolphins. Culver coming up the middle, but was picked up by the center. Ocho Cinco working again on Vontae Davis. It's a gain of 13 on 3rd and 10 to the 46-yard line.
Isolation on Chad Ochocinco. Man coverage against Vontae Davis. He beats him to the outside. Excellent route ran by Chad. And then the catching of the ball is the most critical point. How about the protection of Carson Palmer on that play?
Bernard Scott in the backfield. It is a 1st down. The numbers on Palmer, as you can see. Still the nickel. This is the aforementioned Scott. Big hole into the secondary. Finally, Sapp brings him down after Vontae Davis couldn't find a handle. A 17-yard gain to the 29-yard line.
Against the cover 2 shell, 6 in the box, and then there's where they run. So you get only 6 in the box, and the 2 safeties. Look at that hole. The 2 safeties are back so far. That's when Carson wants to check to a run play. So you ask, what do they want to do? Run or pass it? Depends on the look he's going to get from the Miami Dolphins defense. Right now, they're giving you that cover 2 shell again. He could check to a run play.
Rama Francis out of the line. They brought in Kendall Langford. There's a 1st down. First drive of the game. That's the rookie tight end, Preston. Brought down by Dansby. Picks up 8 yards on the play, and Solomon, they mark him at the 20-yard line. A drive which saw Tio catch one for 9, and Chad Ochocinco get one for 13.
And 11 plays so far on this drive. 6 have been runs. That was a pass play, the 5th pass play right now. So a good mix of run and pass for Carson Palmer.
On 2nd down and 2, Bernard Scott is out of Abilene Christian. The middle into a pile. Langford there, gain of 4, and put him down to the 16-yard line.
And the Miami Dolphins have a big physical defensive front. Carlos Dansby comes over as an unrestricted free agent. And so this is a group that's been very good at defending the run. It's really surprising the Bengals have been able to run the ball on this first possession.
Benson is back in. Wake is on the top of your screen on the line. 13th play of the drive. On the 16, 1st and 10. Bell gets Benson inside the 10, barely a gain of 6 on the play. Nice variety on this drive.
Really good variety. Carson Palmer reading the defense well. And it's that stretch zone play. It allows Benson to cut back, find the soft area, and see Jeremiah Bell. He was coming up from his safety position, but he can't get up there fast enough to plug the hole.
2nd down and 4. Benson. Tackler crunched away, 7-yard line. That's Jeremiah Bell. He leads the team in tacklers. A Pro Bowler a season ago on a gain of 3. We'll put him at the 7.
And that time Bell was able to come up and get a better feel for where the Bengals are going to try to attack in the running game. And now in that critical red zone area where areas are really more constricted on a 3rd down play, it's been a great drive for Carson Palmer, but he's got to come up big. This is the biggest down of the drive. 3rd and 1. He's got to be able to get it into the end zone or pick up a 1st down.
Brian Leonard has come in. He didn't play last week against Atlanta with a thigh injury. 3rd and 1. Touchdown. Terrell Owens. He was working on Clemens.
Just a good mix, good play calling. Bob Bratkowski, the offensive coordinator, the use of Terrell Owens, and watch how they run the out route and in the area behind the safeties, behind the linebackers. And he's able to get in front of Jason Allen for a touchdown. Good throw, good catch. Bengals putting points on the board in the 1st quarter.
Jason Allen has been a little inconsistent. Here is the extra point. 7-0 Cincinnati on top. Mike Nugent puts it through. Catches of 13 by Ochocinco. 17 to Scott. And they finish off with a 7-yard touchdown pass to Terrell Owens. 7-0 Bengals right off the bat.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by the new Ford Edge. The world has never seen a crossover quite like this.
I'm anxious to see how Miami responds to that good-looking opening game drive by Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah, and they've got to be productive on offense to give their defense a break.
Full house for Chad Henne from the 31st and 10. Brown. Not a lot there. Brought down by Mamaluga. Gain of 4 to the 34-yard line. And quarterback Chad Henne makes his 20th career start today. In his young career, he is 10-9.
He's a guy that the coaches talk about. Hey, he just continues to pass the test. Every week he gets better. I know everyone wants more spectacular plays made from Chad Henne, but he doesn't have the egregious mistakes that cost you football games.
Roberto Wallace is in the slot. 2nd down and 6. Now he's on the move. Good time. That's caught on the near side. Grabbed by Brandon Marshall. Working on Chris Crocker. 19-yard catch. He's down to the 46-yard line of Cincinnati.
And this is all you need to know about Chad Henne. Watch him stand in the pocket, comfortable. Now this is just great accuracy. Dropping the ball in between 2 Bengals defenders to Brandon Marshall, who just makes an incredible catch, keeping both feet in bounds. Excellent execution between quarterback and wide receiver.
After the 20-yard gain, 1st and 10. Ronnie Brown in the backfield. And the call. Aluga in the secondary, brought down on the play by Morgan Trent after a gain of 3, down to the 43-yard line. Rest of that line, Jake Long is the best offensive lineman for the Dolphins. John Jerry is starting at the right guard. He's been out for a while with an illness. And a change at wide receiver. Devon Best starts for the healthy Brian Hartline. It was a coach's decision. 2nd down and 7. Brown. Tank Johnson makes the stop after a gain of 3 down to the 40-yard line. The defense of Cincinnati, Frosty Rucker starts for Antoine Odom out with a drug suspension on that line. That line has been very inconsistent. Linebacker Dhani Jones leads the Bengals in tackles for a 3rd consecutive year. And the secondary struggled last week with Roddy White of Atlanta. Morgan Trent will start for the injured Jonathan Joseph. They had 6 different defensive backs miss time in practice this week. Hartline has come in. One of the 4 you see out there on 3rd and 4. Devon Bess brought down about the 36. Hit by Reggie Nelson, the ex-Jaguar. It's a gain of 4. Looks like they got the 1st down to the 36-yard line.
It's going to be close. Devon Bess is one of the best at converting 3rd downs into 1st downs. 15 of his catches have come on 3rd down plays. He's the guy that can make big-time plays. He converts it into the 1st down, and they continue to move the chains. And, you know, Marvin Lewis talked about his defense. They just need to get better at reading and recognizing formations, not playing with a hesitant mindset.
1st and 10 handoff to Ronnie Brown. Dance his way, and Hall makes the stop. Gain of 5 to the 31-yard line. As you take a look at some of the key inactives today, we talked about Joseph, Pac-Man, Adam Jones. He is out now for the rest of the year. He'll have surgery on his neck. And Dukeway is out. He was starting last week. Roy Williams is out. 3rd consecutive miss for him. He's got a knee injury.
And as this game goes on, keep in mind, Chinedum and Dukeway, a big playmaker in terms of the pass defense. So was Adam Jones, who had been improving. And Jonathan Joseph out there thin on the back end.
Hobbs back there, 2nd down and 5 for Bess. He got it right in front of Morgan Trent, who plays safety normally and some corner. To the 21-yard line, gain of 10. Good looking throw by Henne.
Hey, he's playing that position where Jonathan Joseph would normally get the start, the 2nd-year player from Michigan. Morgan Trent giving a little bit too much cushion over on that side of the field, and Chad Henne is just going to pick it apart all day long. Have to shrink the coverage, and You talk about a team needing to score inside the red zone or put the ball into the end zone. That's what Chad Henne is going to be asked to do after going 0 for 3 last week inside the red area.
You're right, they did struggle. First down and 10. First drive of the game for Miami. Alaluga has got Fasano, the tight end. Flag is down. The gain right there, 5 to the 16-yard line. Fasano is a good-looking receiving tight end.
2 fouls on the play. Holding defense number 25.
Trent.
Holding offense number 72. The penalty's offset.
Carey.
First down.
Carey making his 82nd consecutive start today for Miami. A look at Marvin Lewis.
What did Tony Sperano tell us? If there is any part of their game that they want to get going, they certainly have done a good job of avoiding the penalties, but they want to get both running backs, Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams, going on the inside power run game.
Polite now back there with Ronnie. It's first down and 10. Brown. Nice play to Honey Jones coming through. He's played in the Super Bowl with Philadelphia with the Giants. Third year here in Cincinnati. Gain of a yard to the 20-yard line.
Tony Sperano said that the better we run, the better team we will be. And we will win games running the football. They want to be a powerful team. They want to be the most physical team on the football field today. And so it starts with their ability to both run the ball on offense and stop the run on defense.
Right play of the drive. Cobbs, receiver atop your screen. Second down and 9. Carry a block. Incomplete for Bess. All kinds of defensive traffic right there. Reggie Nelson among the 3 in the secondary defending for the Cincinnati Bengals.
I felt Reggie Nelson could have probably played the ball. He took the shot and he hit the man. But take a look at this. You think maybe you can even get the interception. See, his head is going toward the defender, and he never looked at the ball. And had he made contact with the wide receiver before the ball arrived, they would have flagged him. But he got there a little bit late. Contact was unavoidable, and so it was a good thing, but he's got to do a better job of playing the ball in the air.
Third down and 9. That's to the end zone. Incomplete. Coverage by Hall. And intended for Wallace. A flag, as you see, has been thrown.
Looks like they're pointing.
Illegally touching the pass. Offense number 19 went out of bounds, came back in, and was the first to touch the football. The penalties decline. Fourth down.
They're saying that Brandon Marshall stepped out of bounds on his own. And watch him at the bottom of the screen here. And see, he does not coming back in, and then he touched the ball. If you go out of bounds,
that's Wallace. They made the wrong.
Absolutely.
It's not Marshall. It was Wallace.
Okay, it was Wallace at the bottom of the screen that they called it on number 19. But nonetheless, it was a good call because he did go out of bounds of his own volition.
This is a 38-yard field goal try on the opening drive for the Dolphins. 5 last week for Carpenter. Miami is on the board and 2:16 to play on that drive. A 20-yard catch by Marshall. A 10-yard catch by Bess. They get the 38-yard field goal. We're getting some terrific scenics today. That's the Ohio River, Paul Brown Stadium. The MetLife Blimp is giving us these great scenics today. Look for the MetLife Blimps as it teams up with us at CBS for more coverage this season. Solomon Wilcots, Kevin Harlan. You know, you brought up something interesting in that last drive about a defensive back, and of course you played many years in the NFL in that position. Watching the ball or watching the guy, that's a tough little juggle there.
Once the ball is in the air, you go play the ball. You have to have a mindset, much in the same way that Troy Polamalu or an Ed Reed go get the football, and the ball normally takes you to the man. That's where the wide receiver is going. So if you play the ball, you stand a better chance of making big plays, coming away with the interception, and avoiding a penalty flag.
Good explanation. 11 plays, field goal for the Miami Dolphins. The ensuing kickoff, Scott with that bright Ohio sunny looks. Brought down nicely on the play. How about that? Cobbs coming through. 13-yard return. Another look at Carson Palmer, who is magnificent on that first series. His Bengals lead 7-3.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And by Allstate. Dollar for dollar, nobody protects you like Allstate.
It's the second defensive series out there for the Miami Dolphins. They've made a change. They brought in Sean Smith in place of Jason Allen. We knew they were going to go back and forth, but interestingly enough, Allen was beaten on that touchdown pass in the first Bengal drive by T.O. So now Smith playing the other corner. 1st and 10 from the 12. Gresham, the tight end. Dansby had a beat on him. Bell was there as well. And the gain to the 19-yard line and about an 8-yard gain there, Solomon.
Just good play design. Get the formation going one way, and you sneak Gresham out the back door to get beyond the defense and watch him. He plant that foot in the ground, get going right toward that first down marker. Just a couple of yards shy of it. But this offense is clicking. They're on schedule right now.
With an extra defensive back, Sapp. 2nd down and 3. Big hole. Bell the stop. It's a gain of 11. A 1st down to the 30. We go to James Brown in New York.
Hey, Kevin and Solomon, take a look here at Jacksonville getting it done against Dallas. David Garrard, play action, hooking up with Mike Sims-Walker. A 10-yard strike on 1st and goal from the 10. They're on top of the Cowboys, 7-3. Kevin Harlan and Solomon Wilcox.
And we know Garrard didn't play last week because of the concussion. While we're away, they threw a late flag. It was a personal foul. It was against the Miami Dolphins. And so now the gain, which was 11 yards by Cedric Benson on the run on a 2nd down and 3. Now puts it out to the 45-yard line. And I apologize, I did not catch who it was on. We'll try to get that for you.
Tony Sperano cannot be happy with that. His team's the least penalized team in the league.
Look at that. Dansby just walks right across the line and said, I saw somebody move.
He's going to force the official to throw the flag. We saw someone move.
Offense number 71.
That's just
right.
smart playing.
1st down.
Carlos Dansby, high football IQ. He understood that the offensive lineman moved. And we're going to watch the tackle. Watch it right here. See, there you go. Andre Smith, he moved. Now, if you go ahead and cross the line of scrimmage, now they've got to go ahead and throw a flag.
It's 1st and 15. Benson from outside. And Clemens got a hand on him along with some others. Also, you saw Sean Smith. Gain of 3 to the 43. We just heard Channing Crowder was guilty of the personal foul for Miami. The referee's mic was off, and so we couldn't get it, so we called upstairs. 2nd down and 12.
You know, and just because you're getting the no-huddle offense from Carson Palmer of the Bengals, that doesn't mean they're in pass mode. They'll run it from this formation.
Whitworth a good block at the left tackle. Shipley, the rookie out of Texas. Hit by Benny Sapp. He's down to the 42. 15-yard gain. Another 1st down for the accurate Carson Palmer.
Jordan Shipley has caught the eye of everyone in the Cincinnati area and even the opponents. Tony Sperano said the guy he's worried about most is not Chad Ochocinco, not Terrell Owens. It's Jordan Shipley working the slot area.
Wake is on the near side of the defensive line of Miami. That's the end of the 1st quarter. Touchdown pass to Terrell Owens. Field goal of 38 yards for Miami. We take a break at the end of 1. The Bengals 7-3.
You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Welcome back to Cincinnati. Touchdown pass to T.O. for the Bengals on their game-opening drive. It was a 15-play drive. This is their 2nd of the game. They began back at the 12. Now they're all the way to the 43 of Miami. Where they got it 1st and 10. Solomon Wilcox, Kevin Harlan, Baker, 2nd-year player out of Purdue. Ryan Baker has now come on the line for Miami. They're still in the nickel. And it's 1st and 10. Cedric Benson. And he was hit there by Sapp. Brought down by McDaniel. Gain of 3. Solomon to the 40-yard line.
Kevin, the Cincinnati Bengals have lost 3 games in a row. One would argue they have to win this game today. But Carson Palmer said that we've gotten better because bad things have happened. They've fallen behind 28-0 to the Patriots. They fell behind last week to the Falcons 24-3. But I think what they have found is that when they go no huddle, they can strike big and put up big numbers offensively.
2nd down and 7. Benson, Shipley with the block. Nice submarining tackle there by Crowder. He certainly helps that run D. It was a gain of 1 down to the 39-yard line.
And last week, after falling so far behind in that game, Carson Palmer goes no huddle. He gets 3 touchdown passes, completes 70% of his passes, over 400 yards. And I think they've now kind of found a rhythm on offense where they still haven't abandoned the run, but boy, are they able to attack you down the field.
Now 6 defensive backs. They bring in Culver. 3rd down and 6. Almost picked off. Clemens just about had it. He was right there, the second-year player out of Clemson. So Palmer can't convert on 3rd down. They got to punt the ball.
This pass should be intercepted. It's a high throw by Palmer. Look at that. It goes right to the defensive back. And T.O. is wondering where this ball's got to be down low. It's got to be down low where Terrell Owens can dig it out or catch it in stride running. It was thrown well too high, and Palmer wishes he had that one back.
So here's the punt now by Kevin Huber. He's on to the University of Cincinnati. Devon Bess is back. And the knuckleball. And the fair catch at the 21-yard line. Another look at Chad Henne on that 18-yard well-placed punt. 7-3, the Bengals. That's our offensive story so far. Dolphins' first time they had it, 38-yard field goal. They begin this offensive series with Ricky Williams in the backfield. Hartline, one of their receivers. 1st and 10. After the Cincinnati punt. Henne ran by Fasano about the 30-yard line. And Maualuga was there. That's a gain of 9 on the play. Up to the 30-yard line. Coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Bill Cowher for the latest NFL scores and highlights and news. That's the Sprint Halftime Report. You're on CBS.
And for the Dolphins to want to get the ball to Brandon Marshall, after watching the tapes last week on what Roddy White did, he implored the coaches, you've got to get me the ball. He wants a big day.
Ricky Williams on first to make it 2nd down and 1. And he takes it up the gut. He gets the 1st down. Honey Jones makes the stop. Gain of 6 to the 36.
We talked to Brandon Marshall. Look at the numbers. Most receptions since 2007, over 300 catches. He's gone 3 straight years, over 100 receptions and 1,000 yards in a single season. But this year he's not happy. He says, I'm happy to be in Miami, but he said, I looked up, I ranked 61st in the National Football League in yards after the catch. He wants to improve on that number.
1st and 10 for Henne. It's Polite. Maualuga is there. It's a gain of 3 on the play. Saka Polite to the 38-yard line. The yards after catch, a big deal with him.
Absolutely. Take a look at this tackle. Wow. Morgan Trent comes up and gets the hit, but getting back to Brandon Marshall. And he always talks about yards after the catch. And if you watch him play, he does so many things so well. Beating the jam at the line of scrimmage, plucking the ball out of the air, but then looking to do something once he comes down with it.
Nelson is the nickel. 2nd down and 7. Long with the block. And well timed. That's all. That was a late flag. It was thrown right there on Reggie Nelson. They're going outside to Hartline. I thought there was a little contact before that ball arrived.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a flag.
Defense number 20. Automatic 1st down.
He's been playing mainly special teams after the September trade that sent him from Jacksonville to Cincinnati.
Yeah, Reggie Nelson has to have a better feel to be able to work himself around the offensive player, still get a hand in there and knock the ball down. See, bang, and then the ball arrives. So certainly I thought there was contact. It was very close. I mean, that's like splitting hairs, and we all have done it, having played that position.
Wallace is in. Marshall is out. 1st down and 10. Ricky Williams. It's a tackle on the near side here by Morgan Trent. He's out of Michigan. It's a gain of 2, and Ricky will take the ball to the 48-yard line.
Good coverage by the Bengals, forcing Chad Henne to dump it off. You know, sooner or later, you know this ball is going to go out to Brandon Marshall. And, you know, last year, Brandon Marshall playing against Leon Hall, he had 4 catches for 27 yards. What did he tell us? He said, you know, last year I took him rather lightly. I didn't study Leon Hall as well. He said, but today I plan on having some kind of atonement. He looks for a big day playing against Leon.
Marshall back in, 2nd down and 8. Ricky Williams. Alaluga and a couple that were there on a gain of 5. They sent him down to the 48-yard line. I know they want to run the ball. I mean, they're known as a running team. The Dolphins want to get Williams and get Ronnie Brown on track.
Yeah, they do. And it really is important for Tony Sperano. He's a former offensive line coach, now head coach of the Miami Dolphins. He feels that everything they do starts with their offensive line. They've improved in terms of their ability to run it. That's why they've evolved beyond the Wildcat. You don't see them running it as much as they had in the past.
Second tight end, Mixtrude is in. 3rd down and 3. Ricky remains. Good time for Henny. That's caught. Fasano with a grab right in front of Nelson. 32-yard line. Pick up of 15 yards of first down for the Miami Dolphins.
Interesting play call because they load the box as if they're going to run it. But on 3rd and 3, they go against the tendency. We're going to throw the ball when you expect us to run it. And so Morgan Trent's not able to get back on Fasano. He's able to drop it in front of Reggie Nelson. And Trent's probably expecting a run play just as most everyone else was on a 3rd and 3 play.
Wildcat. First down and 10. Brown will send Williams in motion. Ricky Williams, polite, will lead the way. Slipping out of bounds. Nelson got him around the ankles and tripped him up. No gain on the play. They stay at the 32.
It's been 2 or 3 weeks since they've run the Wildcat. And so far this year, they're only averaging 1.6 yards per carry when they run the ball out of the Wildcat. Tony Sperano's probably thinking after that play, yeah, maybe we should go back to our base offense, and where they've averaged 5.5 yards per carry, you know, in the Wildcat over the last 2 years. So the numbers have gone down in 2010.
Henny back in, 2nd down and 10. 8th play of the drive. Polite with the block. Bess near the 25-yard line, hit by Morgan Trent, is playing with the bad knee. That's a gain of 8 on the play. Mark him at the 24. Do you sense, and talking to Sperano last night, that the Wildcat still has a nice mark in this offense?
I think they're starting to move beyond it. One, because they're running the ball well with Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams. Another is because the play of their young quarterback, Chad Henne, who was a first-year starter last year, but now this is his 20th NFL start. So he's more efficient when it comes to throwing the ball, giving them greater balance and much greater production.
The Bengals are in the nickel. Brought in Tom Nelson, 3rd down and 2. Great time. Look at the time. Right through the hands of Ronnie Brown. Coverage across the way by Brandon Johnson. So it is 4th down and 2. And
now watch this. He's going to go over to his right, come all the way back. He's ripping through his progression, and so he gets the ball late to Ronnie Brown as the defender's closing in. You say, well, why didn't he throw it sooner? Ronnie Brown might have been the 5th player in Chad Henne's rotation. And so after looking elsewhere, he had nowhere to go but come backside.
Relegated to a 3-point try. 42-yard attempt by Carpenter. And it's 7-6. Chipping away the Dolphins. Second quarter with 8:20 to play. Important game for the Dolphins and the Bengals. 10 plays field goal. First drive, 11 plays field goal. A lot of plays, not many points.
Yeah, they only average 18 points per game. That has been their mission statement all week. They've got to start turning those opportunities into more points on the scoreboard.
This is Bernard Scott from the 5-yard line for the Cincinnati Bengals, and he gets a block on the play from his defensive lineman as he takes it out to the 32-yard line. Geno Atkins, 28-yard return. Here comes Palmer. Is the Bengals up by 1.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sprint, the Now Network. The new Silver Bullet aluminum pipe from Coors Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL. And by GMC, the official vehicle of the NFL.
Beautiful day in Cincinnati. The 2011 Pro Bowl balloting has begun for a chance to send your favorite player to Hawaii for the 2011 Pro Bowl. Vote online or on your mobile phone at NFL.com/Pro Bowl. You vote, they play. Here is the 3rd possession now for Cincinnati. Carson Palmer's had 22 plays already in this game.
Yeah, and he's spreading it around. He's come out, he's been very accurate, spreading the ball to different players, whether it's Chad Ochocinco, Jermaine Gresham, or Terrell Owens for the touchdown. 7 of 9 so far in the game for 65 yards. Only saw him miss on one throw where I thought it should have been completed. So right now he's into good rhythm. But remember, the run game is clicking for the Cincinnati Bengals, helping them to provide protection for their quarterback, Carson Palmer.
Sean Smith is still at the quarterback for the starter. Jason Allen, 1st and 10 from the 33. Great time going. He's got T.O. Knocked away beautifully on the nearest. There he is right there, Sean Smith. Nice play.
Well,
Second down and 10.
This was a well-thrown ball. Look at the shadows on the field. I thought T.O. was blinded. See how his shadow is in front of him? So that means the sun is at his back. He's looking back into the sun, couldn't find the ball, and it appeared as though the defender found the ball better than T.O. did while it was in midair. He lost the ball in the sun on that play.
5 in the secondary, 2nd down and 10. He was batted down at the line of scrimmage. May have been by Langford. Flag is thrown on the play. And we'll find out it was thrown in the secondary at about the 46-yard line.
27. There's no foul for pass interference. The ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down.
They got in his grill. That'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
If the ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage, you can then make contact with the receiver before the arrival of the ball.
Culver comes in as a 6th defensive back, 3rd down and 10. Now he's going deep, and this time looking for Ocho Cinco. There was some contact, but no flag. Vontae Davis was back there, and there you see Culver. They had Ocho Cinco double team. They got a punt, 3 and out for Cincinnati.
And I thought on both occasions, on the deep throws, Carson Palmer gave his receivers a chance to make the catch. But I'm not so sure that his receivers are able to see the ball. And I think if you're an offensive coach and you're calling plays, let's go deep, you've got to know where the sun is. You've got to know where that location is going to be and how it affects your wide receivers.
Huber to punt, and Devon Bess looking up into that same sun from the 22-yard line. Bess. And ripped down. Nice tackle made on the play by Rico Murray. They just called him off the practice squad yesterday. 44-yard punt. And he's back out there. Here come the Dolphins down by 1. Solomon said it earlier, a lot of plays, not a lot of points. A change at right guard. Pat McQuiston has come in. Paul McQuiston has come in. His brother Pat, this is Paul, has come in for John Jerry. 1st and 10 from the 29. And he losing his footing. Then regains, then throws Hartline. Brought down by Trent. Whacked on the play by Keith Rivers. He's up to the 36-yard line. That's an 8-yard completion.
And right now, look, you talk about the sun having an effect. That's Devon Bess before the game looking into the sun, and he's on the same end of the field, and that's Brandon Marshall trying to focus on being able to catch it without having to block his eyes. And that's the sun pouring into Paul Brown Stadium right now, and the Dolphins are going into the sun. So if they turn back to look for the ball, they're not looking into the sun as Chad Ochocinco and Terrell Owens had on that previous possession.
2nd down and 2. Ronnie Brown. Well, he was ripped down hard on the play. Foskey Rucker got a hand on him and some others. No gain on the play, and they stand at the 37-yard line.
Now, we talked about it. A lot of plays, not a lot of points for this Miami Dolphins offense. They've gotten off to a slow start. This is the 22nd offensive play. Only 6 points to show. But they can now begin to take command of the game. Tony Sparano's going to dial up some run plays. Try to create 3rd and short for Chad Henne to create a 1st down. Right now they're looking at 3rd and very short.
2 to be exact. 3rd and 2 into the nickel secondary. That's high. Looking for Hartline. Coverage across the way by Morgan Trent. And the Dolphins match the previous 3 and out by Cincinnati. 3 and out for Miami. They got to punt the ball.
And if you are Miami Dolphins fans, you want a better throw from Chad Henne. You want him to be able to convert. I'm going to give Morgan Trent the credit for having great coverage on the play and forcing Henne to throw that ball high where only his guy can get it or go out of bounds. So great coverage on defense by the Bengals.
Fields to punt. Juan Cosby's back. Cosby running under the ball with the catch. Way ahead of hang time, about 3.5 seconds. 41-yard punt. Carson Palmer will take it again. 6:11 to play in the second quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Viagra. And by Dish Network. Let's watch TV.
First down and 10. Here's a look at Carson Palmer, who's missed his last 4 passes. From the 22. Cedric Benson, Whitworth with the lead block, and there he goes into the secondary. Jeremiah Bell meets him, knocks him out of bounds, gain to the 34-yard line, 13-yard run, a first down for Cincinnati.
Andrew Whitworth, the left tackle, nice kick-out block. Number 77, look at it right there. And then you have just a great running lane. Ed Benson reading the block by Whitworth to get to the second level. Right now, the Bengals, when they run the ball, they are at their best.
Baker still on the defensive line for Miami, 1st and 10. Into the nickel secondary. This is Benson again with a little cutback, and Bell is once again right there to make the stop. It's a gain of 6. Clemens got a hand on him as well. Benny Sapp was there, right there. Benny Sapp, they made a trade with Minnesota, sending Camarillo to the Vikings. Sapp comes to Miami.
Benson's doing a really good job. 79 yards rushing so far today, but he's doing a good job of staying with the hole, and if it's not there, going backside and finding room to run. 2nd and 4,
Sapp on the blitz, Benson again. And look at Sapp coming from behind and bringing down our number 1 pick by Chicago. Loss of 1 on the play. Back to the 40-yard line. You talk about patience. That's interesting. Sometimes
after coming over from Minnesota.
Wake play in the left end here. 3rd down and 5. Palmer setting his protections. Shuttle pass goes off the bench, but read beautifully by the Miami Dolphins to the 41-yard line. McDaniel was there. Cameron Wake was there. It's a gain of 2. Nothing doing. Defense holds. They got a punt to the Bengals.
Cameron Wake, very smart. So you come upfield and then close the door. Go back in, and they didn't block him because they're expecting him to go charging up the field because they gave him a pass look, but he was smart. He knew he had to clear the running back before he would rush the quarterback.
Huber to punt once again for Cincinnati. Devon Best back at the 20. Hard rush put on. Clemens was right there. Best waves it away. Rico Murray will trot with the ball down to about the 10-yard line. That's where Chad Henne and that offense of Miami will start with a 48-yard punt. And a look at Tony Sperano.
We have a Halloween theme. There's no doubt about it. And speaking of Jekyll and Hyde, the home and away has looked very different in terms of the ability to produce wins, points per game for this Miami Dolphins football team. Even their ability to take the ball away on defense and create turnovers, it's been drastically different. They play much better on the road than they have at home. Tony Sperano hopes to even out the personality of this football team as the season progresses.
Ricky Williams in the backfield. McQuiston stays at the right guard from the 10, 1st and 10. Great time. Oh, and he's got his receiver that was dropped on the near sideline, as you saw. They were going for Cobbs, and he had a linebacker on him. The former number 1 pick out of USC, Keith Rivers.
Rivers made it really tough for him to haul it in. He's closing. I think he's beaten on the play, but see that hand up? It was enough to distract him from making the catch. And that's about as good as it gets in coverage for linebackers. He was tight, he was close, and then got a hand up to distract the receiver.
Pat Sims is coming on the defensive line now for Cincinnati. 2nd down and 10. Polite is in with Ricky Williams. Good block by Carey, and there's Rivers again. No gain on the play. They stay at the 10-yard line.
Boy, Williams wanted to cut back. We're talking about finding room to run, but Keith Rivers were able to slam the door. Watch him come in, fill the backside hole. So you run through it, see how he's trying to bounce on the cutback, but there's number 55 showing up, slamming the door shut. Excellent run defense at the point of attack.
Dunlop along with Geno Atkins coming in the game. Couple rookies in the middle of the line defensively for the Cincinnati Bengals. It's 3rd down and 10. Henny intercepted, picked off on the play. Grabbed by Morgan Trent. First interception of the season. First turnover of the game. And it will be at the 40, make it the 37-yard line of Miami.
3rd and 10 is usually where quarterbacks try to do too much. Trying to go down the field. We'll show you in our eye control. Now watch it. Going down the middle of the field. Watch how many black jerseys are in there as opposed to white jerseys. Now this is just throwing it into a team meeting, and he underthrows it, and it's picked off. And so certainly Chad Henne should have gone elsewhere with the ball. He knows he should not have gone there with the football on that play.
That is the 6th interception thrown by Chad Henne this season. And look where the Bengals started at the 37 of Miami. 1st and 10. That's Kelly, the tight end, in motion. And dropped by Clemens. And then picked up by T.O. Wow. That is a touchdown. His 2nd of the day. Carson Palmer will take it any way they can get it. Wow.
Chris Clemens, he's not going to sleep well tonight because, Kevin, you're right. He should have had the interception. The ball hit him right in the hands. He dropped it, and then it goes off his back foot right into the hands of Terrell Owens. Look at this. He tipped it up with his hand.
Yep.
Kept it alive for Terrell Owens to make the catch for a touchdown. He should have made the catch initially. Wow.
What a weird play. Nugent will try to tack on one more. It's 14-6 Cincinnati and 2:45 before halftime. Palmer and Owens have connected twice, but a little bit of help right there from Chris Clemens. Downtown Cincinnati on this Halloween. Coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Bill Cowher for the latest NFL scores, news, and highlights.
Of plays just goes to show you what it's like to be a quarterback in the NFL. Both guys have bad throws, bad decisions over the middle of the field, and one gets intercepted. The other one should have been intercepted, but it results into a touchdown.
Here's the kickoff. Nugent and Cobbs. He looks into that sun from the 15-yard line. Oh, and he finds a gap. A great seam. The kicker can't get him, and from behind he is brought down by Rico Murray. That's a great way to get back in this game as the return is 39 yards. They'll spot him at the Cincinnati 45.
Patrick Cobbs, he hits the middle. You got no more than a two-man wall. You can't have any players more than that combining as a wedge, but yet they still able to get to the second level. Look at that, just good running, good blocking up front by Cobbs, and if Rico Murray doesn't haul him in, he's going to have a touchdown. And now let's see if Chad Henne can shake off that interception and start throwing the ball down the field accurately, making plays.
Brown in the backfield on 1st down and 10, and he gets the call. This little hole right there and brought down immediately by Frosty Rucker. It's a gain of 6. They'll spot him at the 39.
Henne's trying to get his guys up to the line of scrimmage. They're going to go with a no huddle. They know they need to put some points on the board before the end of the half.
Into the nickel, 2nd down and 4. Brown. Curry held up his blocker, and that was very nice because he gets the 1st down. Run on a play by Reggie Nelson. Spot him at the 27-yard line. That's a 12-yard gain and a 1st down for Miami.
Sometimes you have to have instincts. Look, know where the holes are. He presses the line of scrimmage and then breaks contain, get outside, and beyond the 1st down mark. That's just smart, instinctive running by Ronnie Brown.
John Jerry, by the way, is back at that right guard. Coming back in, the rookie out of Mississippi. Good 12-yard run right there. Miami's on the move in the 2-minute warning. Clemens had a sure interception in his hands. Ricocheted off his palms. T.O. vacuumed it in. His 2nd touchdown reception today. So here's a 1st down from the 26-yard line for Miami. They got a great kick return by Cobbs to get in this position. Brown is in the backfield. Ronnie Brown, Fasano leads the way, and there he goes, busting free in the secondary. Brought down on the play by Tom Nelson. A 13-yard burst. He's had a run of 12 on this drive. Mark him at the 13. It's a first down.
Just an excellent run. The offensive line taking over the ball game for the Miami Dolphins. Watch them bust it open. Look at that. Seal on the kick out on Dhani Jones, and he hits it right on time. So the block, the hole, and then the run through from Ronnie Brown.
It's 1st and 10. Bess. Whacked in the play by ex-Dolphin Chris Crocker. It's a gain of 2, and they'll spot him at the 11. Timeout taken by Cincinnati. 1:11 to play. Bengals burn their first timeout. And he will take the walk to the sideline and talk with his coach. Down 14-6. Bengal timeout moments ago. Chad Henne can't complain about not having enough time back there in the backfield.
I think he expects to have the time because the Bengals only 6 sacks in 6 games. They haven't come close to getting to the quarterback. They've struggled in that area. I thought Michael Johnson should have been able to get the ball out there. He whiffed as he ran right by Chad Henne.
Ricky Williams in motion. 2nd down and 8. Henne. Fasano. 3rd down and 8.
All right, now you heard this week Tony Sperano said that his quarterback Chad Henne can be more accurate throwing the ball. He talks about these intermediate throws where, look, if you throw this out in front of Fasano, he's going to run it down inside the 5-yard line. And you might credit that as a drop on Anthony Fasano, but I contend that if that ball is placed properly, it's going to be a big play for Chad Henne and a big play for the offense.
Brown is in. They haven't gone to Marshall since early in the game. 3rd and 8. Great time. Brian Hartline, gain of 5. And they'll put him at the 6-yard line. Another Cincinnati timeout. Maualuga makes the stop. 58 seconds to play. Well, both teams struggle in the red zone. And they're going to try for 3 are the Miami Dolphins. On this 4th down coming up. They had to get down to the 3. They are resting at about the 7. And here comes Carpenter. Remember, he had the 5 field goals last week. And again, red zone issues last week against Pittsburgh. And today once again here in Cincinnati.
They talked about getting more red zone opportunities. Today they've had plenty. Still had to settle for field goals.
This is a 24-yard drop. 14-9. With 54 seconds to play in the first half. 24, 42, and 38-yard field goals by Carpenter. There was a nice kickoff return there by Cobbs that got him in scoring position.
Yeah, and then some key plays from both quarterbacks. Chad Henne, bad decision, bad throw, picked off by Morgan Trent, who makes the catch. Equally bad throw by Palmer, but Chris Clements plays volleyball so that Terrell Owens can take it in for a touchdown. So both quarterbacks make bad decisions, but the end result is that the Bengals end up with a touchdown before halftime.
And some of the numbers this afternoon here at Paul Brown Stadium. Let's step back and talk about what we've seen here in the first half between these two teams that are in desperate needs of a win. Miami has lost 3 of 4. Cincinnati has lost 3 consecutive games.
I think the Bengals have done exactly what they wanted to do. Come out and pound the running game to set up everything else with Carson Palmer. And so 16 run plays, 14 pass plays, but a couple of touchdown passes for Carson Palmer. So it's the way that they want to come out and do things. We've seen them go no huddle, but yet stay committed to giving the ball to Cedric Benson.
Bernard Scott. Carpenter will kick it off in the final minute of the first half. And from behind brought down Culver. Got a hand on him, 21-yard return. And they'll put the ball at about the 26-yard line, and that's a look at the quarterback, Carson Palmer. 1 timeout and 49 seconds to play. And tonight, the Amazing Race teams are in Russia, where they'll have to dig for their next clue and make movie magic. Don't miss a new Amazing Race after 60 minutes. It's tonight. It's only on CBS. Look at some of the drives. Terrell Owens has caught 2 touchdown passes in this first half, and he has thrown a pick. 3 Carpenter field goals. That's our story. From the 26, it'll be 1st and 10. Leonard will be in the backfield. 6 defensive, make it 5 defensive backs for the Miami Dolphins. Owens did not call it. Well, I wonder if he heard footsteps there of Jeremiah Bell, huh? It was right through his hands. There was coverage on the play. Culver was in the vicinity as well.
Now this one, it was a good pass from Carson Palmer. We've seen somewhere maybe it wasn't deadly accurate, but so is this one. This one's very good.
Yeah.
It over the cornerback, but before the safety can come over and make a play, T.O. knows he's got to haul that one in. That's an opportunity to get a drive started before heading in at halftime.
6 DBs. Wake is on the left side here. They move him all around. He's on the left defensive end right now. 2nd down. Brian Leonard, former high draft pick by St. Louis, brought down about the 28-yard line. Hit there by McDaniel. Picks up 3 on the play. Timeout taken. Final timeout taken by, no, that's Miami's first timeout. Palmer was, I think he was actually beaten to the punch. I think he wanted to call the timeout. I think Miami beat him to the timeout. So 35 seconds with which to work here in the first half. Palmer, of course, had that great 05, 06, 07 swing. Then some injuries. Where is he now in his career? Where is he on the landscape, do you think, Solomon, of NFL quarterbacks?
I think he has battled some injuries, and then last year they just didn't have the weapons around him after they lost T.J. Hushmanzada to free agency. And you know, Chad Ochocinco, while he's a good receiver, very prolific in numbers, not as consistent in terms of the discipline and route running, so he lost that familiar security blanket that he needed for receivers around him who are going to consistently make plays. I think he has that now, and so you can look for him to start playing well again.
3rd down and 8. Throws it away at the feet of Leonard. The coverage by Wake. And a punt. 3 and out. Another one.
Now, Palmer was just smart. He wasn't going to put the ball in harm's way or create a potential for a turnover there. He had nothing to go down the field to, and so just threw it to the back of the heels of Brian Leonard. And let's go ahead and punt it. Allow our defense to keep the score the way that it is right now.
Huber to punt. And Devon Best once again back there inside the 35 for Miami. Dolphins will have 2 timeouts with which to work. Best on the fly, returnable. Pushed out of bounds by Johnson, the reserve. He's really the nickel linebacker. 16-yard return by Devon Best, who got the starting nod. Marshall's been a little bit quiet. Only 1 reception today.
And you know he has to be seething. He talked to us about watching the tapes of what Roddy White, the wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons, had did against this Bengals secondary 1 week ago, over 200 yards receiving. He expects to have big numbers, but he's only been targeted once today.
McQuiston back in at that right guard. He and Jerry going back and forth. 1st and 10. Ricky Williams. And from behind, rookie Geno Atkins out of Georgia brings them down. That's a gain of 4 to the 45. Miami takes their 2nd timeout. As you take a look at the line there for Dan Carpenter.
Yeah, you take a look at that target line. I believe that Coach Sperano and Dan Henning, the offensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins, you've got to take a shot. This is why you brought over Brandon Marshall, and they even said that what he does, he allows us to take shots down the field. He expands our offense and creates room for the running backs to run underneath. In this kind of situation, you need a pass completed down the field in order to set up an opportunity for a field goal.
Call coming in from Tony to Chad Henne. And where is Henne right now? Where do you see him in his development?
Well, we clearly showed the poor decision to throw the ball down the field. We even shown an incompleted pass to Anthony Fasano. So it's still continuing.
2nd down and 6. Good block by Carey. This is Bess. Bouncing out of bounds, coming on the near side, and shoved over there by Tom Nelson on a gain of 5. And to the 40-yard line.
Something I would like to see more of Chad Henne is taking the shots down the field. If you see a receiver in one-on-one position, so what, he's not wide open, you know Brandon Marshall can win in those positions. Does he have the edge in terms of body position on a defensive back down the field? Go ahead and put it up and give him an opportunity to make a play.
Just really nothing explosive for Miami.
That has been a problem all season long, and they have an explosive player in Brandon Marshall.
It was 3rd and 1, and Cincinnati just burned their final timeout. So now 8 seconds to play here in the 2nd quarter. Miami trying to get in some field goal position. They've already gotten 3 from Carpenter today. And even in the Miami Herald today, we saw that the coach, Tony Sperano, was giving Henne his thumb. Said we got to be patient. He's a young quarterback, and he's got my patience, and he's got the team's patience.
Yeah, he talked about that, remaining patient with the quarterback. And he said that Chad Henne has passed the test each and every week. He says, yeah, we want more from him, but he hasn't failed in those critical moments. He hasn't turned the ball over late in games, and he's given us an opportunity to win. But now everyone, I think, all in South Florida want to see their quarterback play more prolifically. Remember, they're used to a guy named Dan Marino.
Still.
Absolutely, and I think rightfully so. All quarterbacks will always be measured to him if you're playing for the Miami Dolphins.
5 in the secondary, 3rd and 1. Incognito with the block. Bess will race out of bounds about the 36-yard line. Gain of 4. I thought it was a little bit more back, about the 38. They give him the 36. He picks up 4. And that's going to put Carpenter now within his range, his former Pro Bowler.
Devon Bess had to flirt with the reality. Yeah, I want to get more yards, but I better get out of bounds to stop the clock before it's all zeros.
There is a slight breeze at the back of Carpenter. 54-yard try. His long 53. This will be a 54-yarder. The distance, the accuracy, and 3 more on the board for Miami. That will go a long way. They got the clock, and Sperano likes that. They're within 2 at halftime. The Bengals 14-12, setting up a terrific second half from Paul Brown Stadium. They're on CBS. Halloween in Cincinnati, the Bengals up by 2. Both these teams, Solomon, last week with disappointing losses, and both trying to come back from that here this afternoon.
Yeah, both teams have been underachievers, and they normally say the most desperate team usually wins. Both teams are very desperate. That's why we have a very tight, closely played game in the first half. And I think the team that makes the fewest mistakes, particularly at the quarterback position, who doesn't turn it over, that's the team that's going to prevail.
Time now to look at our points of protection brought to us this afternoon by Allstate.
Yeah, it is about protection, and protection inside the red zone for the Miami Dolphins. They've had 6 possessions on offense, but they can't get it into the end zone. Had to settle for 4 field goals. And how about Terrell Owens? He's only caught 3 passes in this game. 2 of them have gone for touchdowns. And, yeah, protections for the quarterbacks have been very good. Neither team has had a sack of the other team's quarterback.
Well, Carson Palmer has thrown a couple touchdown passes in this game, both to Terrell Owens.
Yeah, he's come out, and I thought he had really good rhythm early in the game. They run it well, so they've been able to protect him. And so he spread it around, had a few missed throws in terms of incompletions, but more than anything, he's been on the money. Even when he's thrown it to the Miami Dolphins, they played volleyball with it, and it's wound up in the hands of Terrell Owens. 2 touchdown passes in the first half for Carson Palmer. Remember, coming off a game last week, Kevin, where he had over 400 yards passing and 3 touchdowns, didn't throw an interception last week, so you might say for the last 6 quarters he's been dead on.
Mike Nugent will kick it away for Cincinnati, and away we go with our second half. Cubs on the run from the 17. Outside, and he's brought down by Brandon G. He's a high draft pick in the secondary out of Wake Forest. It's a 15-yard return. So those are the numbers with Chad Henne. Interception, and he has it first down and 10 at his own 34.
Well, he talked about Miami Dolphins, their struggle and inability to score points coming into today's game, averaging 18 points a game. One way that you can really steal a game from the opposing team, you score points at the end of the first half, and then on that first possession in the second half, before you know it, you're leading on the scoreboard.
Ricky Williams in the backfield, first down and 10 from the 34. Flag was thrown. The coverage by Chris Crocker on Devon Bess, sliding at the 47-yard line, 13-yard pickup as it stands right now.
Holding offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty, first down.
That's their multiple Pro Bowler, Jake Long.
Well, I got to tell you, Chad Henne has all day to throw the ball. The Cincinnati Bengals pass rush is not getting home. Now, I think that's got to really increase your confidence if you're the Miami Dolphins that we can throw the ball against this group. That's why Matt Ryan was so successful last week. This Bengals defense, they have not shown the ability to pressure quarterbacks like they did during the 2009 season.
Nothing to Marshall since the opening drive. First down and 20. Marshall stiff arms his way into the tackle of Morgan Trent. Meager gain of 3. They'll put him at the 27.
And they'll move Brandon Marshall around. Now they're lining him up to work on Morgan Trent. Didn't do much against Leon Hall on the other side in the first half. Had been thrown to only one time, had 1 catch in the first half. Now they go to him immediately here in the second half. You can tell they want to get him going.
On this drive, John Jerry is playing the right guard. He started there, the rookie. Second down and 17. Marshall again, long out there leading the way from behind. Yanked down by Michael Johnson. But the catch and run take him to the 42. He picks up 16.
We told you they wanted to get him going. They motion him down. That way you can't get a jam on him. And it's just a quick, what we call a bubble screen. Creating yards after the catch is what he wants to do. Look how difficult he is to tackle. He's dragging defenders and still creating yards after he's made the catch. He's a big guy, isn't he? He walked into our room, Brandon Marshall.
He's on a pace right now to break O.J. McDuffie's single-season Dolphin receiving record of 90 catches. Back in 98, 3rd and 1. Right on the money, a second drop today for the tight end Fasano. Covered by Chris Crocker. That was a perfect pass. It would have gotten a huge gain. They got to punt the ball in their first second half possession.
And see, Henne has to put more air under this. Watch number 42, Chris Crocker. He undercuts it. So with that orange jersey underneath, put air under it. Drop it in over Crocker, and Fasano may make the catch, but you flatline it. That allows Crocker to reach that hand out and knock it down. Really good defensive play by Chris Crocker.
You're exactly right. Good call by you. We did deflect the ball. Tough to catch. The ensuing punt by Brandon Fields. Quan Cosby and a great Miami bounce down about the 6-7 yard line. So Fields does his job, a well-placed 50-yard punt. That means that Carson Palmer will be marooned at his 7 when we come back. You know, Miami just had that 3rd and 1, and look at the success Polite has found on 3rd and 1.
Yeah, and then they decide to throw the ball to Anthony Fasano. He was open, and every now and then you have to go against the tendency. I think the defense knows they're going to give it to Lusaka Polite on 3rd and 1.
Sean Smith is still in there for the starter, Jason Allen, on 1st and 10. Benson tiptoes up the sideline. Crowder brings him down. Gain of 4 after all that running up to about the 11-yard line.
If you're Mike Nolan, the defensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins, you are unhappy. Look, penetration, make the tackle. Another penetration, got to make that tackle. Cameron Wake can't get him. Neither can Vontae Davis. And now it's about a 4 or 5 yard gain when you should have had him tackled in the backfield for a loss.
5 in the secondary. Second down and 6 for Palmer. Shipley from behind. Sapp, gain of 4. They'll put him at the 15-yard line. Boy, Tony Sperano in particular said Shipley scares me, the slot rookie receiver.
Oh, he is really, I think, fit into this offense and probably hit the ground running faster than the other new components that we had talked about in the first half around Carson Palmer. Remember, it's Terrell Owens' first year in the offense. It's Jermaine Gresham's first year in the offense. Jordan Shipley is his first year, but he's acclimated more quickly. He knows his hot reads. He's seeing the same thing in coverage that his quarterback Carson Palmer is. Gets his head around, finds the football, and makes the catch.
Caldwell is in as a receiver. 3rd down and 2. 6 in the secondary for the Dolphins. Incomplete. Great pressure put on the quarterback, and that came from Cameron Wake, who was in Palmer's grill. That incompletion credited to number 91.
Yeah, watch Cameron Wake. He's going to loop around, come right up the middle, come underneath into the face of Carson Palmer. And don't you just love his story?
Oh, yeah.
6 sacks in the first 6 games this year. They jettison out Joey Porter. Gone is Jason Taylor. They knew this kid could come in and make plays, and he hasn't disappointed them so far this season.
Hubert a punt. Deep end is Devon Bess. Not very long. Bess. That's a bounce. He may have touched the ball, and then it was picked up on the play by Cincinnati's Michael Johnson. It is a turnover. It's the second turnover by Miami, and Cincinnati will continue on offense.
Remember, Bess is looking into the sun. He attacked as if he was going to catch it, but then he became indecisive. See, he didn't know if he was going to catch it. Then he tried to back up. The ball bounced, hit him. Michael Johnson is Johnny on the spot. He grabs it, steps out of bounds. Boy, the Bengals have had some fortunate bounces on the ball today. We saw one ricochet off a defender into the hands of Terrell Owens for a touchdown, and this one is uncanny.
They rule it a muff. On the 45, 1st and 10 for the Bengals. Timeout.
First charge timeout, Cincinnati.
It was called from the sideline. It was not called by Carson Palmer. 11:13 to play here in the third. A second Dolphin turnover. 2 turnovers by the Miami Dolphins. They've had to settle for 4 field goals on a beautiful day in downtown Cincinnati. It's 1st and 10 for the Bengals at their own 45. Palmer's thrown 2 touchdown passes, both to Terrell Owens. One on a ricochet off a defensive back at the Dolphins' hands. They bring the blitz. Dropped. Was it a fumble? Gresham was the one to have it. The blitz was by Sean Smith. It's an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And Gresham made the catch initially. He was a little bit lethargic in terms of the suddenness needed to pull this ball back into his body. See, he catches, he doesn't get it back in. And so, rightfully so, Jeremiah Bell was able to pry it loose before Gresham could haul it into his body.
Wake is playing the left defensive end right here. 5 in the secondary, 2nd down and 10. Good time. Owens. 37-yard line. Crowder has a beat on him, brings him down after a gain of 8.
Setting up a 3rd and short. Bengals have the option to run it with Cedric Benson, or if Carson Palmer is going to spread them out and try to find the weak defender. He's got so many options now. You've seen him go to Chad Ochocinco. Terrell Owens been thrown to 8 times, 4 catches for 61 yards. We've seen him go to Shipley and Gresham, and he'll just find the best matchup advantage to pick up this 1st down.
6 in the secondary on 3rd down and 2. Incomplete, looking for Shipley. The coverage by Benny Samp. 3 and out for Cincinnati. Just as a moment of talk here on the Dolphin defense. Starting the game was Jason Allen. He was beaten on the first series by T.O. on a touchdown pass. We haven't seen hide nor hair of number 32 since Smith took his place at that cornerback position, even a multiple defensive back fronts.
And how about the coverage by Sapp on that play? In fact, the coverage across the board. That's a huge opportunity for the Bengals to put more points on the board after getting the turnover, but the defense for the Dolphins making plays.
Moving upon once again. This is into a slight breeze, and Devon passes back inside the 10. Rico Murray downs the ball. He's had a nice day today. Murray has good special teamer. 42-yard punt. Here comes Miami. Next Sunday, the NFL on CBS serves up doubleheader games. First, the Dolphins take on the Ravens, while the Chargers battle the Texans. In the nightcap, Colts and Philly. A lot of you will see Kansas City and Oakland. That's all coming up next Sunday, all beginning with the NFL Today from New York at 12 Eastern Time. I want to thank our good friends at MetLife for the MetLife Blimp for providing these terrific scenics today. For the MetLife Blimps, Snoopy 1 and Snoopy 2 when they pass through a town near you. Gorgeous day. Worst beginning field position for the Miami Dolphins. Brown will be in the backfield, 1st and 10. Well-placed punt by Hubert from the 5 of Miami. Brown, not a lot there. A lot of guys in-handed like Frosty Rucker. And look at Alaluga come in. Gain of 2. They'll spot him at the 7.
Cincinnati Bengals defense need a real good stop here to try to get good possession if they force a punt for the Miami Dolphins. Looked like a Cincinnati Bengals defender is down on the play.
Looks like Frosty Rucker. We have 10:04 to play in the third quarter in Cincinnati.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by State Farm. Find an agent or get a quote at statefarm.com. And by Sony and Sony Internet TV. Television and internet together at last.
The injured Cincinnati player was Tank Johnson. They'll take him out. Try to get an update. 2nd down and 8 here for the Miami Dolphins. Fasano. Room to roam. Out of block from hardline. Run out of bounds across the way by Morgan Trent. That was a catch and run at 12 yards. And a first down to the 19-yard line for Henne and the Dolphin offense.
And Chad Henne has the offense moving. Creating first down, the early portions of this drive when you're backed up against your own end zone, it's very important. To take a look at the first quarter points for the Cincinnati Bengals. Haven't done much since then. And in the second and third quarters, Chad Henne and the offense, they've kind of gotten it going.
After the first down for either team in the second half, 1st and 10. That is caught, Hartline near side, and Morgan Trent was there. The spot at the 31, another 12-yard gain, another first down for Miami.
Good decision and real good execution by Henne. You saw him looking over the middle. He knew he could not go over the middle late, could have been intercepted. Instead, he presses toward the perimeter to get the ball to Hartline. He makes the catch for yet another Dolphins first down on the drive.
Pat Sims has taken the place of the injured Tank Johnson. We don't know if he's going to return. It is a first down. Here is Ronnie Brown into a big defensive wall of the Bengals. Gain of a yard up to the 32-yard line.
Really, you could tell this is an offense. Yeah, Tony Sparano, we talked about it. They want to run the ball with Ronnie Brown, Ricky Williams right now. The rush yards for Miami, very difficult to come by. 67 yards. Not any really long gains. He said our longest run of the season came week 2 against Minnesota, 50-yard run. Since then, their longest run has been that of 13 yards.
4 defensive backs on this 2nd down and 9 with the empty backfield. Thrown in back of Marshall. He had hit 7 consecutive passes at Chad Henne. It's an incompletion. And that will set up 3rd and 9.
I believe this ball's tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Again?
They're getting some pressure right now on Chad Henne. You said pressure didn't come early. Rivers was able to get in. Looked like the ball had been tipped, but Rivers was knifing in. Could have made the sack. Morgan Trent, look, they're going at him. He's filling in for Jonathan Joseph. Thrown at him 10 times. Completed 7 of them, so that's a 70% completion rate when they've gone at Morgan Trent.
And he missed some time in practice this week with an injury.
He's a fine young player.
3rd and 9 into the nickel. Henne, Bess, first down, 49-yard line. They're working on Chris Crocker. Bess comes up with a gain of 21. We've had catch and run of 12 by Fasano, a 12-yard catch by Hartline. That's the biggest gain of the day for the Miami Dolphins.
Kind of concerned when Marvin Lewis told us that Chris Crocker was going to play some nickel corner, considering that they have some other defensive backs who are out. Remember, Jonathan Joseph out. How about Adam Jones? He went on injured reserve this week after playing really well in Atlanta. Chinedum Ndukwe, he's out. So now they're forcing a safety to have to cover a wide receiver man-to-man.
Brown is back in on 1st and 10. And Hartline out of Ohio State. Trent was right there. Rolls to the 43. Picks up 3 yards on the play.
So a drive that started deep inside the 10-yard line, inside the 5-yard line, that is, for Chad Henne and this offense. Now he has them on the move. Not easy when you're backed up against your own end zone. He's converting 3rd downs, and right now, Cincinnati Bengals, their defense need to be concerned they can't get off the field.
Nickel secondary, 2nd down and 6. Marshall dancing. The quarterback may throw a block. Brown threw a block. And the tackle was made with the loss of about 2 on the play by Carlos Dunlap. He's out of the University of Florida, a 2nd-round pick. And back to the 44.
Now, you were mentioning all the guys who had thrown some blocks. Now watch the quarterback, Chad Henne. He thought about throwing a block. Wasn't so sure. And watch Dunlap. Is he going to block him? No. So that is a whiff. Look, can I make a block? If he throws a block, and it's going to be a nice run, but he never would block Carlos Dunlap.
It's 3rd down and 7. Henny, incomplete. Receiver Hartline fell. That is a flag on Leon Hall. He was number 2 in the AFC in interceptions with 4. That'll be a first down for the Dolphins.
Pass interference. Defense number 29. Automatic first down.
So the infraction is on Leon Hall. He did make contact, and here's a guy that has played very well. Had a tremendous interception in the 3rd quarter of the Falcons game last week to ignite a comeback that fell short. But there you see him having contact. He's one of the better cornerbacks in the league. Brandon Marshall said he was a top 5 cornerback. And look at the completion percentage against the top cornerbacks in the league. Darrelle Revis, quarterbacks only completed 37% of their passes against him 1 year ago.
With a couple tight ends on 1st and 10, that's Ronnie Brown. Mastrud had just come back in, is trying to pound it away. Gain of 2 down to the 28-yard line. Long drives by the Dolphins today, but nothing into the end zone yet.
Nothing into the end zone, and it's the defense of the Cincinnati Bengals. Give them some credit. You know, we were talking about Leon Hall, and you know, I think that's one of the numbers that a lot of us ought to look at to tell which cornerbacks really are playing well. We tend to look at the interceptions, but how about the completion percentage of passes completed against them? When that number is low for them, that means they're one of the best in the league.
Hilliard is in on 2nd down and 8. Henny. Ronnie Brown. Slowed down by Rivers. Brought down near the 20-yard line. Close to a first down. He had 8 yards to go, and he picks up about 7.5. We'll just see exactly where they spot it. Just shy of the 20 and just shy of the first down.
It's going to be interesting. What do you do 3rd and 1? We've seen them throw the ball 3rd and short. I got to believe as Rucker goes down, you got to go with what is Lusaka polite on the menu when you get to 3rd and 1, and when he's converted 16 of 17 3rd and 1 situations.
You see Rucker, they've already lost Tank Johnson, who continues to try to warm up his leg on the sidelines. The bodies are falling. The defensive line of Cincinnati has not had the best of seasons. Their run defense has not been terrific, and their secondary has been banged up. Thus, you've seen 30 passes by Henny so far through almost 3 quarters of football.
Yeah, they're mixing it up, spreading it around. This is the 6th time in the game today where the Miami Dolphins have been 3rd and 3 or less. Now they have to be able to convert those. We've already shown you 3rd and 3, they've thrown it. 3rd and 1, they've thrown it again and was not able to convert. 4 of 10 so far in the game. You think Lusaka Polite is in the huddle. Now, if I'm a Cincinnati Bengals defender, I should know my personnel. I should know that on 3rd and 1, he's most likely to get the ball. As soon as I see him come out of the huddle, I'm really not going to just oversell and play him, because they can sneak it behind you and throw the ball as well.
11th play of the drive, 3rd and 1. Here is Polite. Corkscrews his way for a first down to the 18-yard line on a pickup of 3 as they went into the nickel. They didn't bolster that front, and so the Dolphins keep the drive alive.
So now he's 17 of 18 on 3rd and 1. That's almost as automatic as you could ever get in the National Football League. He has a nose for that first down marker. He's a powerful, small runner. Short, I should say, not small. Still big enough to power it forward, as you can see on the drive so far. 4 rushes, 7 pass plays for 77 yards, and taking plenty time off the clock.
Lone tight end is Mastrud on this first down and 10. Polite again. Gain of 4, so he sledgehammers his way down to the 16-yard line and brought down there by Dhani Jones. Pecco had a little hand on him too. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for Miami on a drive, and you mentioned this earlier. Making 2nd down and 6. They began back at their 5.
Now, we talk about it when you get 10 plays or more on the drive, and they've now had 12 plays on this drive. The defense starts to wear down. They don't substitute and rotate guys as frequently as players do on offense.
On 2nd down and 6. Mastrud with the block. Time for Henny. Out of the end zone. Covered was Marshall. Covered on the near side by Leon Hall and Trent.
Talking about knowing your personnel, all the Cincinnati Bengals knew that ball was going to go to Brandon Marshall. He had 3 Cincinnati Bengals defenders around him. Only 2 receivers had run the route. And so everyone just went to cover Marshall. He wasn't open, and so Chad Henne smartly threw the ball away.
Let's watch for Bess on this play. He's got 3 third-down receptions today.
Now, he would be one of the options in the red zone, particularly working the underneath coverage.
3rd and 6. Ronnie Brown blocked by Polite, shy of the first down. Gain of 2. Tackle by Brandon Johnson. He missed some time this week in practice with a knee injury. So out trots a familiar scene, Dan Carpenter, who already has 4 field goals today. Will try number 5 to equal his 5 of last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And remember, look at that. 4 field goals made today. He's going to have an opportunity for a 5th. And Tony Sparano said we need more red zone opportunities. They've had plenty today, and still they keep coming back to Carpenter to kick a field goal.
31-yard drive for the lead. Miami is on top in 2. 47 to play. By a point, it's the Dolphins on a drive that began back at their 5. Good couple games for Dan Carpenter.
Now look at that. Last 2 games, 10 for 10. And you talk about a team that's struggling to score points. But they rank, I think, 2nd to last in the AFC. Carpenter has been point producer for the Miami Dolphins.
And Bernard Scott. Brought down on the play by Miami's Evan Oglesby off the practice squad. 21-yard return. And tonight on 60 Minutes, where does Reagan's former budget chief think their taxes are going? His answers may surprise you. And come along for a ride with the greatest filly in racing history. That's all tonight on 60 Minutes on CBS.
Kevin, we're going to give a lot of credit to the Miami's Dolphins defense, but how about the offense for the Bengals? They've gone dormant in their last 3 possessions, where they've gone 3 and out on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 plays, and a punt.
Wake is not in. Nickel secondary, 1st and 10. Benson wrapped up on the play, brought down by Soliai. He's good against the run. Yard loss in the play, and it's back to the 25.
And giving credit to the Miami Dolphins defense, what have they done? I think they've stripped Carson Palmer of the running game. They slammed the door shut, where Sid Benson had been effective for the first quarter and a half of this game. Lately, the Miami Dolphins run defense has improved.
Second down, 11. Right tackle Smith with the block. Almost picked off. Nice defensive play right there by Vontae Davis. He led the Dolphins in interceptions last season. He's got 1 this year, bringing up 3rd and 11.
Now, one would say these are missed opportunities for the Miami Dolphins on defense. Make this catch. Get the ball back for your offense and shorten the field for Chad Henne so that they can make some plays. And so, yeah, while it's a good play by Vontae Davis, he's got to close the deal and make the catch for the interception.
6 in the secondary, 3rd down and 11. They need the 36. Here they come. Wake! Dropped. Gresham. Coverage by Misi. 3 and out for Palmer and the Cincinnati offense. Cameron Wake disruptive once again up the middle for the Dolphins D.
3 and out again, because why? They couldn't run the ball on early downs with Sid Benson, and then they can't block Cameron Wake. Coming off the right side, look at it. He beats Andre Smith, the former 1st-round pick, get to the legs of Carson Palmer, former 2-time Defensive Player of the Year in the Canadian Football League. And boy, has he been a huge find for the Miami Dolphins.
Huber punt, and Devon Bess is back for Miami. Fair caught, 31-yard line. And in the offense take over on a 43-yard punt for Cincinnati. Wednesday on Showtime, JB, Chris Collinsworth, Phil Simms, and Warren Sapp. Come your way on cable's longest-running show, the multi-award-winning Inside the NFL. That's every Wednesday on Showtime. You know, we're talking to Cameron Wake last night, an engaging guy, played at Penn State. You mentioned the Canadian league football experience. He really gave a lot of props to Joey Porter and Jason Taylor, guys that really were good in helping him along.
The guy was out of football for 2 years, worked as a mortgage broker, and he said, I couldn't get football out of my mind, didn't want to live with regret, so I worked to get myself into the National Football League.
1st and 10. Ronnie Brown back to Henne, looking deep. He's got his receiver, Hartline cannot juggle it in. Coverage on the play by Maualuga. 2nd down and 10.
Wonderfully designed play and wonderfully executed. But the throwback to Henne, and then Henne hits Hartline. Hartline went to Ohio State, nearby. You know he's back home. He's got a lot of family in the house. Could not make this catch. He struggled as of late to really make the catch and hold on to the football. I thought the ball had a lot of heat on it from Henne, but no excuses for Hartline. He's got to make that catch.
Ricky Williams is in, 2nd down and 10. Long with the block in time for Henne. Underneath they go. It's a loss of a yard. They get it to Polite. Let's go to New York and James Brown.
Kevin and Solomon, Detroit got a new set of downs on a penalty flag thrown against the Redskins, so Detroit capitalizes. Matthew Stafford drills that 2-yarder to Brendan Pettigrew. Detroit takes the lead by 1 late in the 3rd over Washington. Back to Kevin and Solomon.
No surprise there for the Lions. Another close game.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford, Brandon Pettigrew, 2 high draft picks coming up huge for the Detroit Lions.
Full house with Ricky Williams, 3rd down and 11. It's up for grabs. Fasano, was he in bounds? Out of bounds. Reeled it in. Nelson was there defending. Crocker was back there as well. And it was not in bounds, so they got a punt. That's a 3 and out for Miami.
What did Chad Henne tell us? Hey, I just want to give him a chance to make a play. I thought he allowed Fasano to make a play on this one. He comes back to it, back shoulder, but he could not get both feet in bounds. Watch the back heel. It goes into the wide area, and so he's out of bounds. Good coverage by Crocker.
Punt by Fields. Quan Cosby is back at the 13. Boy, shorthand down to 3-8. You want to get 4-5. He'll dance his way and finally get drilled on the play by Quentin Moss. Just before the end of the 3rd quarter. 12-yard return. 55-yard punt to James Brown in New York.
Hey, Kevin and Solly, off of a Dallas pick, Jacksonville continues to spank the Cowboys. Garrard hooking up with Mercedes Lewis. Back across the field, 9-yard strike. Garrard 15 of 17, 238 yards, a career high, 4 touchdowns, 28-3. Jacksonville over Dallas. Kevin Harlan and playbook Solomon Wilcox.
No Romo. Kitten is in there. This could be the 6th loss for the Dallas Cowboys. Their season's just about over.
JB and Kevin, I can tell you right now, the Cowboys, their playoff hopes was on life support. They're about to hit a flat line.
You're exactly right. They are in trouble. After the Miami punt from the 26, 1st down and 10 for Palmer, who's thrown a couple of touchdowns today. Swings it out here now, caught by Cedric Benson. Run out of bounds on the near side by Misi. It's a gain of about 3, and they'll spot the ball at the 28.
And if you're Carson Palmer of the Cincinnati Bengals, you want to get the offense going. You've gone 4 straight possessions of going 3 and out. I think you've got to start with Sid Benson. You've got to allow him to fuel the offense, because then you're going to get some one-on-one matchups on the perimeter. That's when your big-name wide receivers have to win for the quarterback.
Wake is on the near side. 2nd down and 7, 4 in the secondary. Benson again. Met by Randy Starks. Plugging up the middle. Gain of 3 to the 31-yard line. Solomon, that is the end of the 3rd quarter. Miami is holding on to a 1-point lead.
Yeah, and you know, something's got to give in the final frame. Get ready for a long ride. This is going to be a good one.
Five field goals by Miami. They've got a lead of 1 going to the 4th quarter.
Now the Cincinnati Bengals have to find a way to get their big-name wide receivers going. Chad Ochocinco. A couple of catches in this game, but he hasn't done anything since the first possession of the game. So he's been targeted 4 times, but he hasn't caught a ball since the first time they've had possession.
Dolphins have 6 defensive backs. Wake is on the left defensive end. 3rd and 5. Here comes Langford. And there goes T.O. Brought down on the play by Carlos Dansby. It's a gain of 3. He needed 5. It'll be 4th and 2 to the 34. They got to punt the ball again.
Carlos Dansby is a former safety in high school, and as a linebacker, watch him as he stays close to Terrell Owens. Look, now watch him change positions and make the tackle. A big guy who can move in space quick enough to corral one of the best receivers in the history of the National Football League. That's just a great play by the defense for Miami.
Hubert a punt, and Devon Bess is back inside the Dolphin 30. Wind at his back. Waving his best. Lets it go. Did it touch him? He hopes not. It's down to the 6. Down to the 4. And Henne will be marooned at his 3. Got the great bounce. 62-yard punt by Hubert. And Bess staying away after he muffed the last punt. About a minute gone. We're in the 4th. Henne nursing a 1-point lead.
Welcome back to Paul Brown Stadium. Devon Bess got to make this catch. Did he touch it? Maybe he didn't, but he would have given his team much better field position if he feels that punt as opposed to letting it bounce and roll inside the 5-yard line.
Ricky in the backfield, 1st and 10 from the 4. They blow that play dead.
There's no play. False start. Offense number 72. 5-yard penalty. Excuse me, half the distance to the goal. First down.
That's the high-priced right tackle, Vernon Carey. These are the highest-priced bookends in the NFL. Long and Carey.
Yeah, you see the movement right there on the right side. Look at that. There was a movement in the backfield as well. Carey wasn't the only offensive player who had some movement.
This gives us a chance to tell you, too, that for the first time, Paul McQuiston has come now in at the right guard in this second half. It has been John Jerry. They've been flipping back and forth all game long. It is 1st and 12. Carry the block. They got him. Marshall. And he's got a huge gain of 25 yards. He was working on Morgan Trent. They get the first down to the 27.
Brandon Marshall told us in a game with Terrell Owens and Ocho Cinco on the field, he said, it motivates me to practice harder. I want my name mentioned when the game is over. I want to have the most productive day. He's been known to get hot in ball games, particularly in the 4th quarter. They're going to need him to carry this team, put more points on the board in the final and 4th quarter.
1st and 10. 4 in the secondary. Henne. Hurt line. Nice breaking in the tackle there of Hall. Out of bounds. He's wrestled by Carlos Dunlap, who gets him from behind. Broke the tackle by Hall. Picks up 24 on the heels of a 25-yard completion to Marshall. First down.
Yeah, a couple of things are happening right now, Kevin. This offense for the Miami Dolphins is starting to go on the attack. Remember last week, the Cincinnati Bengals scored a flurry of 22 points during a span of 8 minutes in the 3rd quarter, but could not close out the game. So they've given up big plays in the 4th quarter. And now the Miami Dolphins, look, 10 total touchdowns, ranking very poor in the National Football League today. They have none and 5 field goals to show. 1st and 10 for Henne. Going deep for Bess and way out of bounds. Coverage by Trent. 2nd down and 10. Henne today, Solomon, 24 of 36. He's been picked off once, 217 yards. And he's cutting it loose. 37 pass attempts on the day. So they're not shy about allowing him to control the game. They're not afraid to put the ball in his hands and allow him to go out and win it for Tony Sperano. They want to be able to run the ball, but the way the Cincinnati Bengals defense has played against the run, and considering they've got 3 defenders out of their secondary who are not playing in this game today, Chad Henne's got to make plays throwing the football.
2nd and 10, and around Hartline. Long with the block, and there he goes. Hall will try to bring him down, and does all the way to the 17. Make it 18-yard line on an extra 30 yards. Good play call. 1st and 10, Miami.
Initially, they had the run play stop. Watch Chris Crocker, 42. He dives in, but oh no, they go out the back door, and normally where he would be there to contain the football, he's busy making the tackle in the backfield. And that's why Hartline's able to come around the edge and get to the 2nd level. It was a well-designed play. Only the, look, 2nd time they've had a run for over 20-plus yards so far this season.
Pass through 1 of 2 tight ends. Ricky Williams. There he goes into the secondary and down to the 1. running over the right side. 18-yard gallop. First and goal. Crocker with the stop. Miami at the 1 of the Bengals.
The Bengals have had problems closing out ball games. Take a look at this. Good vision by Ricky Williams. There it is. He's not going to miss that one once it opens up behind the fullback, Lusaku Polite, who was looking for someone to block, but there was no one there.
So the Dolphins only have 1 rushing touchdown this season. Mastrud is the second tight end. First and goal at the 1. Williams stopped by Malaluga. Oh! They got with this guy at the top has a touchdown. Williams creeping in. They've ruled a touchdown on the field, and there's a huge discussion now among the officials. This is kind of like last week. Let's see. What will they do?
Dolphins don't want to hear of it. Here you go.
Ricky Williams has just brought it in. His first rushing touchdown of the season. Watch it again. It will be challenged by Cincinnati.
Movement up front. Take a look. Was he down? I think that knee was down.
Challenged that the runner was down short of the goal line.
And to think this drive for Miami began at their own 4. Watch it again. Ooh, that is very close. It was the right knee or the ball which crossed. Take a timeout.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by E-Trade, ExxonMobil, taking on the world's toughest energy challenges, and by the all-new Volkswagen Jetta. It's great for the price of good. That's Das Auto.
Welcome back to Paul Brown Stadium. Marvin Lewis challenging as to whether or not it was a touchdown by Ricky Williams. The replay may show that it was a touchdown. Take a look at it. Now the knee is going to touch, but the official, remember back here at the top of your screen, he has a better angle. See that elbow? Even though, yeah, the knee is down, I thought that if you take a look behind the defender's leg, watch the ball come poking right through before the knee makes contact with the ground. See the ball there? It broke the plane of the goal line. If that's what he's seeing, then they may leave the call as stand.
The ruling on the field stands. Touchdown. Cincinnati is charged with their second team timeout.
That is a 1-yard touchdown run by Ricky Williams. A drive that began back on the 4. And listen to the big explosive plays. A 25-yard catch by Marshall. A 24-yard catch by Hartline. A 30-yard run and an end around by Hartline. An 18-yard run by Ricky Williams, who puts it on in from a yard away. The extra point makes it 22-14, the Dolphins. A rushing touchdown, explosive plays. That's the kind of drive they always want to have.
Only their second rushing touchdown all season long for the Dolphins.
A controversial and costly call that contributed to the loss last week against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, play right on the goal line. Fumble by Ben Roethlisberger, but remember, you need clear and visible evidence of recovery of the football. And here we are right here. It's not a fumble, but it is a determination of whether or not he crossed the goal line. I thought the officials got it right last week, and the officials got it right then. Now, people in South Florida may beg to differ, particularly on the call last week, but I'm sure they like the call that we have here today at Paul Brown Stadium, signifying a touchdown for Ricky Williams.
His first of the year, second rushing touchdown for the Miami Dolphins on a drive that, like we said before, had the big explosive plays that this team has been lacking on offense. The ensuing kickoff, and Scott on the fly at the 12 for Cincinnati. Great special teams tackle made right there by Austin Spittler, an 11-yard return. Here come the Bengals, and coming up on the Subway postgame show, JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Collins. Scores, highlights, and news. All coming up on the Subway postgame show from our CBS studios in New York. And to the credit of the Miami Dolphins, we talked to him yesterday, not a single excuse as you take a look at the last 5 positions for this Cincinnati offense and what they've done. All the punts in a row. No excuses last week by Miami about what happened in that call.
Oh, the offense has gone dormant. And in this half, they've only run off 12 offensive plays for 24 yards, going 3 and out 4 consecutive times here in the second half.
Great time for the quarterback Palmer on 1st and 10. Benson vaults, and then he is wrapped up on the play by Carlos Dansby. One of two very good offseason acquisitions by Miami. The other was Brandon Marshall. That's a pickup of 8. They spot the ball at the 32.
When we saw the Cincinnati Bengals offense, they came out and they had great rhythm. They were in sync with Carson Palmer. Good mixture of both run and pass where the offense appeared to be unstoppable. We talk about them cooling off, and that's because the Dolphins have improved in terms of their ability to stop the run.
Running into the nickel on 2nd down and 2. This is Benson. Jeremiah Bell is the one to get him out of bounds. A late crack right there by Clemens. 11-yard run. And that is a gain to the 43-yard line.
Good run by Benson. Watch him break contain. He's able to get outside. See Jeremiah Bell filling the lane. And Vontae Davis doesn't maintain containment of the play. Good block by Chad Ocho. And so if the Bengals can just run the ball now, if they can get a safety to drop in the box, it should be more room to throw the ball down the field.
Palmer, who missed 1 day of practice this week with a sore hip, starting today. 1st and 10 into the nickel. Nope, out of bounds. Ochocinco couldn't get it. The coverage on the play by Vontae Davis. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And Chad, it appears as though he's not happy with where Palmer put the ball. You see the frustration between quarterback and wide receiver. Chad had some drops last week. He ran the wrong route on several occasions last week, and now he's growing frustrated because hadn't had many balls come his way. Look here in the 2nd half. How many receiving yards? Nada. None for Ocho.
2nd down and 10. Oh, what a great blitz call, tiled up by Miami. Benny Sapp comes jetting through. Loss of 6. Back to the 36.
We said you should give a lot of credit for the dormancy of the Bengals offense to the Miami defense. Look at that play. Just a great call by the defensive coordinator, Mike Nolan, using Sapp to get into the run lane, knifing his way into the backfield to make a play. And now Carson Palmer's facing 3rd and very long.
7 defensive backs. First time we've seen 7 of them back there for Miami. 3rd and 17. They need the 47 of the Dolphins. The block by the tackle Whitworth. Almost picked off, deflected. Jeremiah Bell had a hand on it. Culver just about reeled it in. As the boos begin to cascade down from the upper decks, they got a punt.
They only rushed 3 defenders. That means you drop 8 into coverage. You cannot throw the ball into a team meeting of Miami Dolphin defenders. That ball should have been intercepted. Carson Palmer's very lucky. He was lucky earlier in the game when it was bounced and tipped into the hands of Terrell Owens for a touchdown. That ball should have been intercepted yet again by a Miami Dolphins defender.
How about the Bengals now? They've missed 9 consecutive 3rd downs. Here's the punt by Huber. Bess is back. Catch at the 29. Dances his way free and kind of falls on his own. There was very little hang time. It was a 5-yard return. It was a 35-yard punt. So with the lead, Miami and Chad Henne with 8:58 to play.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Corona, who invites you to find your beach. And by FedEx. We understand you need a winning game plan. FedEx.
Watch Fantasy Football today to get the last-minute news and analysis you need to start your fantasy league lineup. It's live every Sunday at 11:30 and make it 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Only at CBSSports.com. Got an extra half hour this year.
Carson Palmer and the offense, they've gone backwards. They started off so good in the first quarter, and now Mike Nolan has seemed to have had his calling card because receivers haven't been able to get open. He hasn't been able to be on target, and the run game hasn't been there consistently.
Jerry is back in at the right guard. There's down in 10. Brown, there's Pecco making the stop. And a gain of 4 on the play. Up to the 38-yard line. Explosive plays in the last drive for the Miami Dolphins.
And they've come by way of the run game. And yeah, of course, Chad Henne's been able to go down the field to get the drive started. But this is a reverse run play by Brian Hartline. And then Ricky Williams powering it up the middle. Then he was able to run it in for a touchdown. So they got the drive going with Henne throwing the ball, and then the run game really started to heat it up. You can see the last 3 possessions by the Dolphins on offense.
Wildcats 2nd down and 6. Ronnie Brown. Not a great deal there. Brought down by Dhani Jones after a gain of 2, and he's up to the 40-yard line. How about this now? You talk about balance. The Dolphins, Solomon, today, 37 pass plays, 25 rushing plays.
And that's very good. And you're going to see Tony Sparano, as he's dialing up more plays, they're going to try to close this game out. How do you close out the game in the final minutes? You do it by running the football. Of course, this season, the Wildcat hasn't been a huge part of what they do because the offense has evolved in other areas.
Wildcat again, 3rd and 4. Brown trying to knife his way shy of the first down. The defense holds. Pecco is right there. It's a gain of 1. He's up to the 41-yard line, and a nondescript 3 and out for the Miami Dolphins after they had looked so great the last time they had the ball.
Doesn't make sense to me. Why would you go to the Wildcat?
I don't know.
Remember, coming in this year, they've been averaging 1.6 per carry, and they ran the ball so beautifully, doing it a different way on the previous possession. I know Tony Sparano is probably talking to his offense coordinator, Dan Henne, saying, yeah, we might have to go back to our conventional way of running the ball.
Fields the punt. Quan Cosby out of Texas back to about the 9-yard line. They'll take it on the move and run out of real estate across the way, and they'll stop the ball at the 21-yard line. It is a 50-yard punt and a 12-yard return. The Subway postgame show is being put together for you right now out at our CBS studios in New York. JB, Dan, Shannon Boomer, and Coach Cowell. Scores, news, and highlights. Brett Favre, by the way, will start today for the Vikings out east against the New England Patriots. More on that coming up on the Subway postgame show as you take a look at what they began with and what they've done the remainder of the game. Very surprising.
First possession, 86 yards. They go right down the field, and they're able to score. In the last 10 drives, only 134 yards to show. Carson Palmer has to get it going for the Bengals.
It is, all that being said, it is still a 1-possession game. 1st and 10. Rush comes on, gets away from Crowder on the move. Bad hip and all. Jeremiah Bell watches him trot out of bounds about the 29-yard line. He picks up 8 on the move. Carson Palmer.
Terrell Owens, Chad Ochocinco, 2 of the best wide receivers to ever play the game if you take a look at their career numbers. And Jermaine Gresham, 1st-round pick at tight end. Jordan Shipley, a phenomenal talent at the slot receiver, and somebody's got to get open so that Carson Palmer's not running the football. They've got to be able to get the ball out of his hands, create first downs if they have any shot of saving their season and winning this game.
4 defensive backs for the Miami Dolphins. Drake is at the bottom of your screen at that end. Here he comes. Drops. Gresham, the rookie. Coverage on the play by Alama Francis.
You can see Bobby Williams, one of their veteran players on the offensive line. He was chirping at Gresham saying, catch the ball, because you can't throw it any better. And we named these guys in terms of the weapons around Carson Palmer because they're the ones who have to make a play for their quarterback. You can see start to look at coverage before he was able to haul it in. And that happened earlier in the game where he caught the ball, didn't quite secure it, and the defender was able to get it out.
6 defensive backs on 3rd and 2. Blocked by Leonard. Oh, air ball. Looks like he's got, let's hear they spot the ball. Right now at the 30. Looks like he'll be shy by a half yard. He took a wicked hit on the near side.
Take a look at this play. We're going to go ahead and roll it. Now watch, they're going to roll it out coming over here, but watch this. Look at that, Shipley's wide open. Why couldn't you throw that instead of taking that lick as you're going out of bounds?
Clemens got him 4th and 1. Now a timeout taken. Miami has taken the timeout. They burn their first, and they want to think things over.
What does Peyton Manning tell us? Bad things happen when the quarterback holds on to the football. Yeah. Ooh, Carson Palmer's very fortunate that he comes up healthy after getting hit. Look at that. And we already showed you he did have a receiver open coming across the middle of the field. Jordan Shipley, I thought he could have saved himself the wear and tear just by throwing it and completing the pass for the first down.
So Dansby and Sapp are the ones to knock him out of bounds. There was an interesting comment from the Bengals side this week And as the players were more disciplined last year in how they approached things. Came from Marvin Lewis.
Yeah, and Marvin said, you know, we panic. We don't play formations and personnel as well as we see. Everything we show them in practice, we show them on the film. When things happen a little bit out of the ordinary, we panic and we don't play with a great amount of poise as we did 1 year ago.
Dennis Rowland is an extra tackle here on the near side, 4th and 1. Benson. He corkscrews for the first down. Bell finally got him. Gain of 4. They'll be up to the 34 and they keep the drive alive. Bengals have one timeout. They're down 22-14.
Well, they pull Nate Livings, that left guard, pull the backside guard. He comes in, opens up a nice hole for the running back. Marvin Lewis knows that this is really riding on his offense. And if the offensive line can protect the quarterback, open up some holes in the running game, they may just have a chance.
Wake is on the right defensive end, 1st and 10 for Cincinnati. Five defensive backs, and this is Cedric Benson. On down on the play by Randy Starks on a gain of 2 to the 37.
Right now, I believe the Dolphins are doing a really good job against the running game. And Ced Benson, right now, just over 60 yards rushing in the game, 69 to be exact. But he hasn't been able to pop in. He hasn't been able to get to the 3rd level of the defense. They've kept him hemmed in. And they've been able to create 3rd and mediums or 3rd and long for Carson Palmer, which, of course, they haven't been able to convert after going 3 and out so many times in the ball game.
Wake on the near side this time, 2nd down and 8. Up against Andre Smith. Goes Wake, and across the way, it's caught by Gresham. He had Dansby on him. It's a gain of 2 and out of bounds at about the 39-yard line. The Bengals, Solomon, have had, in the second half, only 1 play run in Dolphin territory in the second half of this game.
No, the defense has been stellar, and the offense, we talked about them having stalled. So on 3rd and 6, I wouldn't look at this as a do or die down. With less than 5 minutes to go, if I'm Bob Bratkowski, the offense coordinator for the Bengals, I'm using both 3rd and 4th down to try to move the ball down the field.
6 defensive backs. 3rd down and 6. Palmer caught for a first down. Grabbed by Shipley right in front of Benny Sapp. Marking at the 49. 10-yard pickup, and the Bengals will move the chains.
We said at the top of the game, Jordan Shipley had to become a 3rd option for Carson Palmer in the passing game. And on a big 3rd down play, he's able to convert. He's able to make the catch and hold on to it. See how he smartly possesses the ball? The son of a coach, he clearly knows what he needs to do. 12 receptions on 3rd down, leads all rookies in the National Football League.
And still the nickel on 1st and 10. Knocked away. Crowder. Good play by Channing Crowder. 2nd down and 10.
Palmer's fortunate yet again. He kind of got out of sequence. Watch how he starts to pat the feet a little bit. Kind of didn't know where he wanted to go with the ball, then hurried this throw, nearly intercepted by Channing Crowder.
Palmer is on a record pace this season through the air. 2nd down and 10. Ochocinco still shut out this second half. Pocket crumbles. He's not been sacked today. Here comes McDaniel. There's a pass. They were looking for Chad right there. Incomplete. Bell was in the vicinity covering in the secondary for Miami.
And Cameron Wake, he's not going to sleep well. He's not going to ride home on that flight. Look, 91 had him sacked, couldn't finish it. And Andre Smith was kind of riding him to the ground. Palmer comes up throwing it outside of the reach of Chad Ochocinco.
So 3rd down and 10. Drive started back at the 21-yard line of Cincinnati. Into 6 defensive backs. He gets his receiver. 37-yard line. That's Chad Ochocinco. It's a gain of 14 yards. Working on Chris Clemens, a 1st down.
So how about this? The Carson Palmer-led Cincinnati Bengals offense were very good on the first possession. They go 10 possessions where they're very dormant. They don't do much with the football. And now on what appears might be their final possession of the game, they appear to be knocking on the door and looking to put points on the board.
with a single timeout from the 37-yard line of the Dolphins. First down and 10 for Cincinnati. Good time. Oh, he's got Owens! And then getting in the way was Clemens. Now, I don't know if Owens dropped it or if Clemens...
Wow.
Or if Clemens got in the way.
Well, that ball was up there. And
it was.
T.O. was waiting on it. All he has to do is come back to the ball a little bit, and I think there's going to be a collision, and that's how you draw the flag. Palmer put it up there. He's got to come back. See, he doesn't come back to it.
Yeah.
And it hits the back of the defender. If he works his way back to the ball, he's probably going to draw a flag, and they're snapping the ball at the goal line.
12th play of the drive, second down and 10. Let's bat it down at the line of scrimmage. Again, getting in the way. Baker was there. McDaniel, one of those two guys, I think, is responsible for that deflected pass on second and 10.
And this ball appeared to be tipped as well. There it is, right there. It's going to be tipped.
Ryan Baker.
Ryan Baker was able to get a hand on it. Bat that ball down.
We've seen a lot of snaps this afternoon.
He has seen a lot of snaps. Third and long. Again, I think if you're the Bengals and you eventually have to get to a fourth down play, you're not punting it. You're not tipped in the field goal. You got to go ahead and go for it.
6 defensive backs, third down and 10. Wake is on the near side. Held up. And dropped Ochocinco. The coverage by Vontae Davis, who is emerging as one of the better young. Oh, and a flag is thrown. A flag is thrown. First down, back at the 46. Did Palmer take a hit? He must have. 9
lives for the Cincinnati Bengals. And let's see it. Because Vontae Davis, that's just great defense. He's able to pry that ball out before Chad can haul it in. And now let's see.
Oh, got him on the head.
There it is.
Got him on the head. Cannot touch the helmet. Yep.
Kendall Langford can't go to the head of the quarterback. Give the Bengals a new set of downs and a huge gain on the play.
It does. Now from a 22-yard line of Miami, it is first and 10. Leonard is in the backfield. Palmer. Ochocinco can't hold on. There was a vicious hit put on him right there by Dansby. Good coverage. Wow. Good coverage.
You want to know, with the emphasis on the rules on a defenseless receiver, can you still be physical? Absolutely. You lead to the shoulders, not a helmet-to-helmet hit. It was a good, clean, hard hit by Carlos Dansby on Chad Ocho.
Clean, yes, you're right. The player down is Ochocinco. The former Chad Johnson. They have brought in some new defenders for Miami as they continue to rotate on this very long drive for Cincinnati, which began back at their 21-yard line. 15th play is coming up. Catching his breath in a game which has seen Miami get 5 field goals to begin the game, and then they put one drive together, one of their best single drives of the entire season.
And the story of this game, both teams are going to tell you when this game is over, we had opportunities to win it. That's exactly what both teams told us when we met with them about their games last week. Tony Sperano group said they should have put the game away early against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Cincinnati Bengals talking about having had their opportunities down in Atlanta to win the game. And both of them now staring that opportunity again right in the face.
6 in the secondary. Leonard in the backfield. Caldwell takes the place. Second down and 10. Intercepted, a big-time pick by Sean Smith. Breaks a tackle from Cook. Gets a block on the play from Clemens. Brought down by Caldwell. The first turnover by Cincinnati today. And it couldn't have come at a better time for the Miami Dolphins. Huge play by Sean Smith.
And watch Sean Smith. And Carson Palmer is expecting Terrell Owens to continue coming over the middle. He stops and doesn't go for the ball. And that's where Smith is just waiting to make the catch. The catch that so many defenders could not make today on defense and finish off the play with an interception. Sean Smith does that. The second-year defender makes a play. When we talked to him last night, he said, hey, the strength of Chad Ochocinco and Terrell Owens is trash talking. We have to come in and quiet them early in the game, and finally they get it done here in the fourth quarter.
There's a gain of 3 on first down. A look at Palmer throwing his 7th interception of the season. The gain is to the 27-yard line as Ricky Williams took that for that short gain. That was the first career interception of Sean Smith, who did not start. In fact, he is back as a starter after losing his job in camp. Jason Allen took his place, but now Smith has come back and taken Allen's place. Allen started today. Smith came in on the second defensive series. Allen was beaten for a touchdown earlier in the game.
Yeah, we can show you the play via our eye control, exactly what happened on the play. And we're going to show it to you. Go ahead and roll it. Now watch this. Now Terrell Owens coming back out. Now you got to keep going for the ball. You got to go for it. Don't hold up, because that's when it's intercepted. Quarterbacks have to anticipate that once you make a move to go to the ball, you've got to continue that movement. If you stop, it's going to appear to be a ball that's overthrown. It's going to be intercepted at the next level, as that pass was by Sean Smith. Great defensive play by the Dolphins.
Second down and 8. Ricky Williams has got the rushing touchdown in his pocket, finds a big hole. Look at the lead block by Long and Polite. He bulldozes out to the 37-yard line. That's a 10-yard carry by Ricky Williams.
Take a look at it. Just good blocking. Lusaka Polite still looking for someone to block. Can't find a black jersey. That's how big the hole was for Ricky Williams.
So Ronnie Brown has carried 16 times for 61 yards. Ricky Williams has carried 9 times for 47 yards. Cincinnati is out of timeouts. This will take us to the 2-minute warning. And the Dolphins, on the road where they've been perfect this year, are trying to make it 4-0 away from Miami. It's first down and 10 with no timeout. Cincinnati cannot stop the clock, and Henny in the victory formation. A huge game for this Miami Dolphin team. Down early in the contest, they put together a terrific drive, which took them from their 4, culminating with a 1-yard touchdown run by Ricky Williams. And that looks like it'll seal the 4th consecutive loss for Cincinnati, and the Dolphins will go to 4-3.
Wow, a disappointing season so far for Marvin Lewis and the Cincinnati Bengals, a team that went undefeated inside of their Division 1 year ago, a team that won the AFC North. Such high expectations coming into the 2010 season, and now they have lost 4 consecutive games.
It's a 2nd and 13. You know, I go back to that 54-yard field goal by Carpenter just before halftime, a career long. That was a huge mental lift for that team. They only trailed by 2 going into the locker room.
Yeah, and we said it, that both teams are going to talk about it after the game, that, yeah, we had opportunities to win the game. I thought there were several other times in the game where Carson Palmer wasn't quite on the money. The ball should have and could have been intercepted by the Miami Dolphins. They're the 4th team in NFL history to go 0-3 at home, but begin the season by winning their first 4 road games. So that Jekyll and Hyde trend has continued.
Henny today, 24 of 37, 217 yards. Did throw an interception. Ricky Williams on the ground, 47 yards. Brown had 61. 5 field goals from the Pro Bowler, Dan Carpenter. Huge win. A couple of University of Texas guys. The reason why Benson went to Texas is because, well, a high school kid in the state of Texas, he admired Ricky Williams.
Well, huge game for Tony Sperano to bounce back from a devastating loss last week. He didn't blame it on the officials. He said, hey, we don't make any excuses. None given by any of his players or his coaching staff. And Carson Palmer now has got to find a way to continue to lead this team. Because right now, after 4 consecutive losses, they need to find their way. They've got to be able to find a stroke to get going on both sides of the ball.
You just saw Sean Smith, a big interception, stops a driving Cincinnati game late in the contest. Huge interception, the first of his career. For Solomon Wilcott's Kevin Harlan coming up the Subway postgame show. We'll take you there after this message from New York.